excited about your music.
It's the 8-bit cover of the Interstellar main theme by Hans Zimmer.
That's cool, Hans Zimmer. The goat.
Oh, let me turn that up.
I'm drinking these bubbly,
I don't know anything about Hans.
lemon sorbet flavored sparkling water to try to curb my soda addiction.
Oh.
There you go. Wean yourself off.
You should curve it the other way. Go harder.
Go hard. I couldn't go much harder.
If I go more harder, it's gonna be like gonna do cocaine out of a.
Yeah, just mix cocaine with water.
Yeah.
Hey Jeff, you have to tweet.
Yeah, I'm doing that now. Actually, so I got everything else is good. Wait, you guys didn't hear the music, right? Because it's
we did not hear the music.
So I was doing that, and I was tweeting. And that's what was going on.
Hey,
you guys hear me? Stop cheering now!
And they put your kids in a race car when they cut their hair?
Yep. Well, a race car or a Jeep with Elsa on it. So that's what Emmy said.
Oh, I know what Sean would have wanted to say.
You know me so well.
Let's see here. Twitter. It's a website that you go to. All right, let's see.
Why don't you post some blue sky, brother?
Some booski. Twitter is still laggy for me. I think it's
Twitter is ass, straight up ass.
I think he's deliberately making it terrible for me to tweet, so I won't tweet.
Once news stories get rid of headlines, it'll be better.
I only have one notification on for Twitter, and it's the guy that leaks the Jujutsu Kaisen manga episodes.
Of course,
like Wednesday, and nothing else. That's the only thing I use Twitter for. And then that's why I didn't saw you tweet that you were like, add that sound to the soundboard until like yesterday.
Yeah. Well, listen, I had it when I needed it the most, which is right now. All right. Boy, I just hate typing and not seeing the words come up until 5 seconds later. What a terrible fucking website.
There must, it's an awful website.
No, I don't have
but there's something extra happening on your head.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Oh, yeah, you definitely have a buggy extension or something.
Yeah, but this is twitter.com. There's no extensions on the twitter.com.
I mean, you have you have something.
Hey, the fuck you mean there's no extensions on twitter.com?
Well, on TweetDeck, I have extensions. I don't have it. I'm not there's just extensions just for twitter.com. Like, go to twitter.com and there's extensions for the browser.
Yeah,
that might affect twitter.com.
Dude, like Chrome, Edge, whatever you're using. You must have something installed that's like there's
causing conflict somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe
browser,
I don't think so.
I would bet on it, Jeff, personally.
Okay.
I mean, it's awful site, but that's weird.
Yeah, that one's weird.
I mean, it did not used to do this. And I haven't changed anything in months in terms of extensions.
I'm sure, because he changed the API and all this other bullshit in the back end that probably isn't playing nice with something you forgot you have there that's messing up with Twitter or something like that for sure. It's his fault still, but I bet you could fix it.
By the way, I know Chad's joking around, but I will call it X on a serious basis when I stop using the platform.
Yeah, there you go.
So let me tell you. They're nothing stupid. I heard them try to explain you can find us on X on a podcast the other day, and they were like, that just sounds weird, man. We're just gonna say Twitter. That's just so
everybody just Twitter.
Okay, let's see here. I am ready to go, I think.
Hey,
it's just that
you guys hear me?
Make sure that's the right volume. Now. Okay, I am good to go. Mike, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, starting in 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now!
Oh, wait, Jeff. Sorry.
Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Oh, restart.
Wait, what's happening? Why?
Sorry, my recording didn't come out.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
Give me a second.
Okay, Tom, are you ready now?
Wait. No.
Okay, let me know when you're good.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh, no worries.
We're not forgiven.
I can't record. What's going on? I'm so sorry.
You don't have enough space or something? Don't worry, everybody. That's what this
is. I'm sorry, guys. I should have checked this earlier.
There it is.
You normally think it would work.
There we go. Sorry.
Okay. No worries. All right. In 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now! Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I'm a Nintendog.
And we are the last of the Nintendogs. Today, on August 22nd, 2023, Mario has a new voice. Metal Gear Solid is going to be sneaking at a lower frame rate on the Switch. And we have the Circana report. Jeff, I think I'm finally over not calling it NPD. I think I'm okay with Circana now.
Yeah. I only mention NPD now so that other people know what I'm talking about at a quick, because most people aren't going to catch up to that for a long time. But yeah, it's Circana. Whatever. You can change your name. I don't give a shit.
Do other people even talk about the NPD anymore? Sometimes I feel like me and you seem to care about that more than other people. Like, did GameSpot have a Circana report story today?
A lot of websites do have Circana reports. I don't know if GameSpot does.
Did IGN?
Because GameSpot's pretty busy with the Gamescom. Like a lot of their staff are at Gamescom. But I mean, you usually get the Circana like stories from most websites. Yes.
Oh, IGN did have one. Okay, thanks, Dave. All right, Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. Busy. So kids got school starting, so we went to. I posted pictures of going to get the kids' haircuts today. We actually went on Sunday, and we had an appointment. It's appointment only because it's back to school season, so everyone's getting haircuts. And it's a fun little haircut place. So you got the.
You should just let me do their haircuts too. I did their dads.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's what I told Steph, and for some reason she said no. And they got like Xbox One S's or Xbox Series S's in there, and a bunch of fun chairs for the kids to sit in. Like Emmy sat in the Elsa Jeep that they have. But we went on Sunday for our appointment, and on the way there, someone had their car broke down, and so we were stuck at a light for about 10 minutes, and we were 5 minutes late to the appointment, and they're like, we have a policy. If you're 5 minutes late, it's a no-show, and now we can't see you today because we're completely booked. I'm like, okay, I'm like furious and leaving because it's like we left with plenty of time. We just got bad luck in the car, but whatever. I didn't take it out on anybody. We get there today for a rescheduled appointment because there's not like a lot of other fun places to take the kids, and their haircuts, so they still want to have fun. They're little kids, and of course we're sitting there, and of course it's gonna be us waiting now for them. And waiting way longer than the 5 minutes that they wouldn't wait for us. And then, of course, someone else goes in and comes in after us, is more than 5 minutes late, and then they let him sit down. So I'm just like, but again, not taking it out on anybody.
Did you get a real stickler? I mean, did you push back at all when they were like, "Oh, you're late"?
Then I was like trying to explain, like, we were stuck in traffic. We were coming with plenty of time. We just got really frustrating. It was like the place is basically run by kids. They weren't obviously they were overwhelmed. I'm like, this is just not even worth it. So I walked out before I got angry at somebody, and Steph stayed in there. I think she pushed back more than I did. So. But very frustrating, but also, hey, the kids got cute haircuts. We're all good. All's well that ends well. Emmy starts school tomorrow, so I got to start getting up early again. Not looking forward to that, but
there you go.
Well.
Woo! Yeah, fun stuff
that time of year. But other than that, playing lots of video games. I played a fun new video game tonight that I'm excited to talk about on this show. I'm never going to be able to remember the name, but everyone should probably check it out because it's probably not too expensive. But other than that, yeah, just lots of work. How about you?
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, just also been busy with video games. It's hard to, Gamescom is happening, but that's like in Germany. It doesn't even matter. Did you watch opening night live?
I watched what I could of it. That's when we were getting the haircuts, so I was kind of watching on my phone a little bit. I'm like a little bummed we didn't talk over it, but from what I could tell, it like with us like splitting our time, and our resources, and we got people at Gamescom and stuff. If we were going to skip one of these talkovers, I think this is the one to skip for the most part. I don't know. What did you watch it? What do you think?
Yeah, like my expectations were really low and they were met. It's like that's what it was. There wasn't much there. There were some things. It was nice to see some more Mortal Kombat characters.
Yeah,
and
I like
other
that.
Things. There's a lot of like this is a game I'm going to see here and then never think about again. There's a lot of those. Like if you like put a gun in my head, told me to name like 10 games from this Gamescom presentation, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Mike, what do you need 10 games for when you have Expeditions, a Mud Runner game? Let's fucking go!
Oh God, I don't I remember. I missed the Mud Runner aspect. I got what is this? When was this?
This is during Opening Night Live. Expeditions, a Mud Runner game, and I was like, as they were showing it, I'm like, I know a spin tire / Mud Runner / Snow Runner game when I see one. And like, maybe this is just DLC for Snow Runner though. So I was like getting pretty excited because that's fun too. But then it was like, no, a full new game. And it's like, instead of being like about hauling, it's more about exploration, which I'm like, okay, if I love the hauling stuff, but I love the exploration stuff just as much. And it's like, no, get out your telescope and like spot stuff and you have a drone that has a camera on it. You can like look where you're going. I'm like, oh my God, they're making it like Breath of the Wild. Let's go. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. 2024 is when that game's coming out.
All right, I must have been writing about something else because I have zero
you just
memories.
Saw trucks, and you're like, I'll talk to Jeff about this later. That's the only person that's going to care about this. And you were right.
Well, hey, how about we had more people rush the stage? Man, I bet Jeff Keighley was an unhappy boy.
He looked so mad.
I mean, I'd be mad. To be clear, it's weird and unsafe. Yes. And it already happened once. Man, they got it's gonna be interesting to see like what like glass case Pope-mobile thing they have him behind during Game Awards this year.
Yeah, at a certain point, yeah, like I think someone said it's like once is funny, twice is like a serious security concern. Like if it happens to you once, you beef up the security, and Jeff Keighley's running this show. He can decide to spend more money on security. What's going on? Like, how is this continued? How does this happen again when it already happened once? Like that. The worst place to like attack if you're a terrorist is the place that just got attacked, right? Because they're going to have a bunch of security. It's like, why are you not operating under those terms? Especially since gamers, like they love nothing more than running a joke into the ground. And so of course someone else thought this was going to be a fun thing to do. And yeah, I'm way over it. The first kid was like, whatever, okay, that's really stupid. But the second time around, it's like, this is just, I hate this now, and I hate you. Don't do this.
Yeah, it's real weird. So hopefully that's going to be the end of that. But Jeff, why don't we talk about some Nintendo goings-ons now? And if you are here to listen to the Nintendo goings-on live, please hit that thumbs up button. Please send a super chat. We already got a bunch of super chats. Thank you, everybody. We're going to start reading those soon, but all super chats will be read before the end of the show. First thing here, Jeff, is that we have learned that Charles Martinet will no longer be the voice of Mario. Nintendo announced this in a tweet. They said that there will be kind of a more formal send-off with Shigeru Miyamoto and Charles Martinet together. We don't know when that's coming. We know that Martinet will not be the voice in Mario Wonder. People, when they saw that Mario Wonder trailer, I had to give props to them because I was like, I don't know. They were like, that doesn't really sound like Charles Martinet. I was like, what are you talking about? Turns out they were right.
Yep.
There was, in fact,
they were very
something
right
up there. There was something up there. So Charles Martinet's been the voice of Mario for a very long time, since a bit before Mario 64. I think there's some PC game he did even before that or something.
Yep.
But yeah, that is the voice of Mario we all think about now. Jeff, what do you think about this?
Yeah, it definitely feels like the passage of time. Someone was like, kind of did a bait tweet where they're like, oh, Miyamoto's not making these games anymore, and Iwata's dead, and Reggie's not at Nintendo anymore, and Charles Martinet's not the voice of Mario. This is not the Nintendo you grew up with. And I'm like, okay, I
guess that's literally true. But like, what are you trying to say here?
Linear time works that way. What are we going to do about it? One, and two, like, actually, I grew up in a world where half those things weren't, like, Reggie was not at Nintendo when I was growing up.
Right,
Charles Martinet was not the voice of Mario when I was growing up. There was like 5 other people who were the voices of Mario before that in my life. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, I will not stand for this Captain Lou Albino erasure.
Yeah, exactly. But still, there's no other way around it. This is the end of an era. It feels like we are going to look back on the Martinet years of Mario with fondness, and I'm going to be sad about it. Like, it's nostalgic already, and it's going to be more nostalgic as time goes on. But he's 67. If this is happening because he's deciding to retire, that rules. And I'm glad he gets a chance to do that, and he gets to do this like sort of cushy Mario ambassador job where he gets to go and like get accolades thrown on him for being the voice of Mario, which is great. Like, he deserves that. So I'm happy for him if that's how it's working out.
Yeah, that ambassador thing. Like, I think Disney WWF similar things, where it's basically like the legends kind of get to collect some money and they kind of make public appearances every now and then. So
and
hey,
that's how it's. I think it seems like that's exactly what's happening here, and that's great. I hope that he can just, whenever I see him at an event, he always seems super happy, super cordial. I think he likes that part of the job a lot. I bet he's going to be at the Nintendo thing in Seattle in early September. So yeah, I hope to see him. That'd be great.
No, exactly. There's no need to wildly speculate about what's going on here. I don't think there's anything nefarious about it. We're going to learn a little bit more in this video, which, when's this video coming out? Do you think that means do you think that's going to be part of a Nintendo Direct coming up here?
I do think that, yes. I mean, it shouldn't be any surprise. Nintendo almost always has a Direct in September. I only say almost always because I have a terrible memory, so I'm sure someone will remind me if they haven't had one at one point, but I think they always have one in September. And that I've heard that they are going to have one in September. So if that's the case, I would expect Miyamoto and him to both show up in the video there. It feels like, man, that's a pretty long gap because it's like no, it's not. Oh my God, we're almost there. Like it's almost September. Jesus. So yeah, in like 2 weeks we could have this.
In a week, we're going to be in Seattle. Oh God, we have to start thinking about that. Jeez, we're going to be in Seattle soon.
And stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Pack for PAX, the PAX Pack.
The PAX Pack, yes. I'm glad I'm not at Gamescom. I'm so glad I'm not going to Gamescom, yeah.
Absolutely. Thank God I'm not, for sure. You know what's funny to me is like somewhere out there, like somebody is the new voice of Mario. They've done these lines for Wonder and who knows what else, and they're like not able to say anything.
Jamie Kennedy is the voice of Mario.
And they've even said like they're not going to say anything until that game comes out and we look at the credits. That's when we're going to learn. So
yeah, I mean, they're not gonna want that new person to be the face of Mario, right? Like Charles Martinet is gonna continue to do that.
Well, I don't think that's what Charles Martinet is maybe gonna do. That I don't think they want a face of Mario, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like Disney never markets or like has the voice of Mickey doing a lot of like public appearances. Right. And stuff like that. I know Nintendo's a bit different about that. I think they would rather it's the Mickey approach. I think maybe they would have been happier if most people couldn't name the voice of Mario and wouldn't get upset when he's recast for the movie and stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you think that had anything to do with it? There was a little bit of speculation.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Chris Pratt is not going to be the new voice of Mario in the video games.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, we can listen to the trailer. We know that's not Chris Pratt. Right. Like, of course.
But even if it sounded like Chris Pratt, I would still say it's not going to be Chris Pratt in the video games. No one's going to pay that money. But no, I guess you never say no, but I don't think so, Jeff. I don't think there's anything that nefarious about it. I don't think this is some kind of like revenge because he there was that incident. Who cares? That movie was a giant hit. Everybody should be happy about that. That all worked out fine.
And Charles Martinet, great in that movie. Just fantastic. He's one of my favorite parts of that movie is him being the dad and being Jumpman or whatever the character's name is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's just good stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Now, of course, he's the voice of more than just Mario.
He's a working voice actor.
Well, aside from that, just all these other Mario characters.
Oh, sure, right. Yes, totally.
Right? So, Wario, Luigi, all these people. So I wonder if it's going to be one voice doing all these again, if they're going to maybe get multiple voice actors now. I imagine maybe one guy can do all of these. Who knows?
I mean, if you're recasting that, like you go get someone who's got range. Like that's part of that job of finding who replaces Mario is someone that can do all those voices because that would be a hassle to have to wrangle a bunch of different people. You want someone that's on a similar contract to what probably Martinet was on in the 90s. That's probably, they want to reset that, and that's probably what they're going to do.
All right, Jeff, anything else? Thoughts on this before I move along here?
No, I just, Bailey told me that he was in a movie, and I've already forgotten what she said. Oh, Dragon Ball Super, right. He was the villain in Dragon Ball Super Superhero in 2022.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the English version. So I'm like, I want to watch that because I want
to watch that one too. That one looked kind of fun.
Yeah, definitely. So I kind of want to just see his work outside of the Mario universe a little bit.
I just remember he was he was like the good dragon you talked to in Skyrim. I remember that.
Yes. Oh, the guy. That's yeah. He just works. That's great.
Yeah. All right. Next. That's it. Thank you, Dark.
I'm sorry. In 2016, he was in Roblox the movie 2, The Attack of Julian, where he played the voice of Boob. This has got to be some fan-made thing.
What do you mean, Boob?
Boob. B-O-O-B. He played Boob.
Okay, wait. Roblox 2? Was there a Roblox 1?
There must have been. But again, I feel like this has got to be some fan-made thing. Roblox the movie.
And they just like sent Charles Martin a really like nice letter.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Or they just took his like voice from other stuff without asking, which is also possible.
Right. Well, Nintendo probably done similar things. Chat, anybody know? Anybody here see Roblox 2? Tell us what boob is.
Tell us what boob is.
What is boob?
We're grown men. What is boob?
It feels like a bag of sand. All right, Jeff. Next thing here. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. They Konami released some info about performance. On all platforms except Switch, the games are going to be hitting 1080p 60 frames per second. On Switch, it's 1080p 30 FPS and docked, 720p 30 FPS and handheld. Jeff, I don't care about the resolution. I don't need PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 era games in 4K, whatever. 30 FPS is pretty disappointing for the Switch versions of these games. Again,
it's kind of inexcusable.
PlayStation, I don't want PS2 and lower ports to be
worse than they were on the original hardware.
Right.
That would be.
Like Metal Gear Solid 1, I'm sure probably just ran at 30 frames per second.
Right. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yes. But still, even that should run at 60 frames per second on a goddamn Switch. Come on.
On a goddamn Switch. That shouldn't be a problem anymore. But we've had Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3. I honestly don't remember if the originals were in 60 FPS, but certainly those HD versions were or whatever. So, yeah, that is just insane to me. So that is just me now being like, well, I guess I'm not getting those on Switch. I'll just get those on PC.
Right, exactly. I'll get it. I mean, at least it's on PC, so I can have it on my Steam Deck and my Roger Ally, and that'll work.
Yeah, Fancy Frank is saying Metal Gear Solid 2 was 60, but 3 was 30. That sounds right, actually, because 3 was bigger. But yeah, but still, they should just be at 60 now, for sure. I mean, especially Metal Gear Solid 2 originally with 60 FPS, that should totally just be on 60 FPS on the Switch. That's insane. That's just bananas to me. That's gross.
Yep, I dislike this, but again, we'll just the Switch version just isn't really up for consideration for me.
No, exactly. Same thing for me. All right, moving along here. We have the Circana report for July 2023. For those who forget, Circana used to be the MPD group. So there's some Nintendo stuff here, but number 1 is Remnant 2. That's a pretty nice. Now, July compared to say June and some of these upcoming months, a slower month for sure. Still, though, that's pretty good for Remnant 2. Like, you could have easily had one of those big June games repeat here, but Remnant 2 managed to break through here.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's another big win for Embracer Group. Like, it's pretty good for Remnant 2. I think Remnant 2, if building on Remnant 1, this is where it should be, and I'm glad that it was able to get there.
Number 2 is Diablo 4, which was number 1 the month before. Number 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which was 6. 4, Hogwarts Legacy was 5. 5 was Final Fantasy 16, was 2, so still managed, had a little bit of a drop, but nothing terrible. The number 6 is Pikmin 4, and again, Nintendo games are only physical here.
Yeah, I wish it would have been better.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people bought this game digitally, especially since you had that spend $100, get 2 ticket things.
That's a good point. You're right. This is not some like pull the alarm emergency for Pikmin or something. I just wish it would have. I wish it would have sold better. A lot of Nintendo games do better than that.
Well, they chart better that, but again, we don't know. We don't have numbers here.
Yeah,
it's always
you're right.
Difficult.
But I mean, I think we're Final Fantasy 16 in its second month. Yeah, I guess
it's digital and physical.
Yeah, right. I guess it's fair that it's like if it's like right behind there, I suppose that's fine. Yeah, this is probably okay. I listen. Pikmin's doing well worldwide for sure. Like it's better than ever. In fact, I'm like, man, maybe this is the chance. But yeah, maybe I bet this is still the fastest selling Pikmin game in the United States.
I'm sure that's true. Number 7 is Tears of the Kingdom, which was 4. 8, Street Fighter 6, which was 3. Elden Ring is 9, was 16, so it got a bump randomly. Number 10 was MLB The Show 23, which was 8. So hey, Pikmin 4 is still the top Nintendo game for the month here. So we'll have to wait till the next financial report from Nintendo to actually get a number on it, because it'll cross 1 million, so they'll have to say something. It'll probably be a couple 2, 3. Somewhere in that range, maybe 4.
When was Pikmin 4's release date?
Must have been pretty late.
It was July 21st, so kind of pretty late-ish in the month.
Late-ish. So, a couple other things about the month. Matt Piscatella said that video game hardware spending fell 19% when compared to a year ago. Declines were experienced across all three of the major new platforms. We're not likely to see big growth rates as we have over the past months, since we are sort of no longer in the supply chain issue era. PlayStation 5 was the best-selling hardware platform in both unit and dollar sales during July. Switch was number 2. So that's kind of our takeaways there. Nothing super shocking going on with that, right?
Yep, that's kind of what you would expect at this point, for sure. I think that it seems like game sales overall strong, and they're probably just going to keep getting stronger through the end of this year with all these big games coming.
Hey, one little Nintendo bit of news we got from opening night live is that Sonic Superstars got a release date. October 17th, Jeff, that is just a few days before Mario Wonders. October 20th release date. You're going to have a couple days here to play through all of Sonic Superstars.
Well, I'll talk to Sega and I'll get a review copy right now, so I have a month and a half or something.
Well, that's true. You could get review code for Sonic Superstars. You will not for
get
Mario,
for Mario
Wonder.
Exactly.
So that's going to help you.
Right. That's going to help a lot. And I guess, I'm glad that it's coming out before Mario, personally, because that means I can play Mario when it comes out, as long as I beat Sonic Superstars. For people to know, I said if people got like some certain poll I did for Sonic over a certain percentage point, I would play Sonic Superstars before I was allowed to play Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Well, here it is, and it's coming out a couple days before. That's great for me. I'll try to get a review code for Sonic, beat it, and then hopefully be ready for Mario the day it's out. For Sonic himself, this seems like pretty bold to try to do this one, try to pull this maneuver.
I guess maybe it's a Baldur's Gate 3 situation. Like, well, we're releasing on all these platforms and not just on Nintendo. I guess. Yeah. Here you go. Here comes. See, we got some more info. It's going to have a racing mode, so 4 players can compete in that, and 4-player co-op. It looks like also. So that's fine. You can make a customizable character for the racing, and I don't know, maybe the co-op. The game continues to look like it has some promise.
It looks like it plays correctly. I mean, I played it a little bit, and it definitely feels like what Sonic should feel like. They got that part down. That stories were that they did work with the Christian Whitehead team for the way the game feels, and that comes through. So, wish they would have just let that team do their thing, but they didn't. At least they kind of did the next best thing and make their 3D Sonic game or 3D graphics Sonic game look play the way you would want it to.
You're right, and still I am a little bit like, what really had just like the Sonic Mania 2, but
I mean, that's the right answer for us. Sega thinks that putting the 3D visuals in there will help the game sell better. We'll see. I mean, maybe that's true for a younger audience. I suppose it probably is.
Yeah, maybe that's true for the audience. The same people playing Super Metroid with me who are having trouble with wall jumping and stuff. All right. Sorry, couldn't resist that little dig. New Pokemon. Oh wait, who the hell threw this in here? New Pokemon Poltergeist, a matcha tea variant of Poltergeist, has been announced.
This was me.
I don't even remember Poltergeist, man. I don't know.
Guy. Looks like a jar of honey.
I'm like, I have decided. I've flipped 5 times already between hating it and loving it.
I don't like the implication that the goo inside of him is green, but I suppose
matcha.
What?
It's matcha tea.
That's matcha tea. Okay, right. Okay, well, all right, then I'm back on board.
What did you think it was snot? What did you like?
Well, I thought it was goo. Like it was like poltergeist goo.
It's matcha tea. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I listen. I wasn't listening. As soon as you said, you went I'm like, I'm tuning out. I don't give a shit anymore.
Did you put this in?
Of course not. That was a joke.
Oh, I don't know.
I want nothing to do with this.
Oh, it's one of those mods. It's Ecto Cooler in there. Yeah, this Pokemon sucks, actually. Like they all do. I'm just gonna be full on Pokemon Grubb guy. It sucks now. It's not as good.
As it was none of them are as good as the old 151. Yay.
Yeah, even Mr. Mime. Man, not Mr. Mime. All right, that's it for the news, Jeff. Do you want to take a break? You want to read Super Chats? What are we doing?
Let's take a quick break here before the Super Chats. Okay. All right, I'll get a picture up of this absolute freak so people could see that when we get back, and then we'll get going.
Yes, Turboshan in chat. We are looking for the guy who did this.
Yeah, who could it be? Who could it be?
Sort by
Him with the
Not,
matcha
it's
tea.
matcha tea.
Oh wait, no. Okay, let's see here.
Matcha's just green tea, right? That's all that is.
Matcha tea? No, absolutely not, brother. That's a whole different species of tea.
Okay, I'm ready to bring it back in. I'm ready for the super chats. Man, it's nice that YouTube's not buggy as shit anymore.
That's nice.
Okay.
Do you see the Lincoln member from Chrono Rig thing that we got first? Okay, good then.
I do see that.
All right, I'll bring us in.
Okay.
And we are back. Jeff, I have a fever, and the only prescription is more super chats.
Sure.
I see what you did with this matcha tea Pokemon. God damn it.
There it is, everybody. So if you're a video viewer, you can see that instead of Mike's face, we have Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? You know what? Whatever. I don't care anymore. He's.
That's worse than hatred.
Yeah, exactly.
The difference is worse than hatred. You're further gone than I am.
As soon as he went away, I just put him away. I'm not gonna think about him ever again. That's where it's at. Okay, some super chats here. Starting with Chrono Rig, who is a Lincoln member for 16 months. Thank you so much, Chrono Rig. That rules. Hey, dogs, I think Mike should be the new voice of Mario, and by that I mean just his regular voice, lol.
Yeah, that's what I was literally thinking that, like, if I had to do a bit where I was, like, pretending to be Mario, it would just be my normal voice. I would just be like...
No, because whenever you, like, have to do your own voice, you always turn it up to, like, 11. And it's very good.
Like, hey, it's me, Mario.
Yeah,
Let's go, everybody.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm gonna stop you, Bowser.
Yeah. It's even better because you're not like you're doing like generic versions of the lines too. Like instead of saying "Let's it go," like what would Mario say?
Let's get going, everybody.
Perfect. No notes. Print it. Put it on the disc right now. Joshua Beneteau says, "Why does EA Sports continue to ignore the Switch with the NHL games? All I want to do is play hockey on my couch while I watch hockey on my couch." Josh, you're speaking my language, but they don't even let me get it on PC. Yeah, because they don't have Switches in Canada. That's why.
No, you know this, right?
Okay, well,
you know that Miyamoto's parents died in a hockey accident. Right? David, I wanted to
like you being so pleased with it. That's what really sold it for me.
That's so hard, and I just couldn't. I was trying so hard to deadpan it.
It was still very good. It's like that's what made it better.
All right.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. We're just being respectful. So,
yeah, that's exactly. What
Gabe Newell just hates Canadians. That's why it's not on PC though. So sorry about that. Josh, we'll get it eventually, I'm sure. Josh, what is the best hockey game on Switch? There's got to be one, right? Let's see if we can find that and just play that instead.
It probably is.
I mean, like an arcade one, like an old, like an like one of those $2 games. It probably is.
See, you can't get the old NHL games on there.
There's like 16,000 games on the Switch.
Yeah, I don't know if any of them are hockey games somehow.
All right. Burrito says, "Here's some cash for Mike's always playing that old faithful 7-note chord that definitely reminds me more of Titanic than Lord of the Rings."
I was actually doing Coco this time, although it does start the same. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the end of Coco.
You know what? It sounds like all three songs, actually. It sounds like Titanic, Lord of the Rings, and Coco.
Yeah, you're right.
Ezekiel Bouchet, says, "I feel so bad for smaller games that may have mistimed their release. Sea of Stars is coming out right between Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield. It can't be good for them." Yeah, it's rough. That's rough.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. Man, I liked that Double Dragon game, and I would have liked to have championed that a bit more. We did a quick look, it was nice, but man, I just had barely any time to play it, let alone champion it a bit more. It's real difficult right now. It's real difficult.
Yeah, it was this week. We're playing Starfield, and we're allowed to say that and nothing else, so I can't say anything else. But playing that, and then I'm playing a handful of other stuff, and the rest of the people on staff are playing, other games for review that are happening like this week. And then it's like, oh man, we got the Bombcast. I'm like, I got nothing to talk about. So I played Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, which I enjoy. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But that one I had to put down real quick because I'm like, now there's a couple other things I'm trying to get into. And yeah, it's rough.
I really should do that. Maybe just watch you do it for a quick look or something. Because I don't know. I should have something with that. Because you guys were like, oh, I don't really like Jet Grind Radio, but this I like. Well, I did like Jet Grind Radio because I was such a Dreamcast pervert. So I definitely need to check it out. If people are actually saying it's good, which was basically what I was waiting for. So. Right.
It's like Jump Light Odyssey, a game I want to spend time with, but I don't know. I'm like, I will spend enough time with Bum Rush so we could do a quick look. That's a good idea. Immortals of Avium, is that one you're going to spend any time with, Mike?
No, and some people are weird about this game. Like some people are upset that like that other people kind of like looked at this or played it even like, yeah, it's just not much. Like some people are like, no, it looks fun to me.
I knew that backlash was going to happen. I didn't see it personally, but I could tell that was going to be a game that's like, no, it's like for people who like, I don't even know how to describe it because there are people who just like all they care about are video games down to the point where it's like, if it's a video game and it looks expensive in any way, they're like, nope, this is it. I got to play it and I love it. It's like, oh,
right.
Man.
They can't understand why, cause it's almost hard to explain it. Cause I think we did before, why me and you just look at something like that and maybe like, yeah, that probably won't be it.
Yes.
And I can also understand why some people are like, what do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's what's happening.
And that's just what's happening here. But I haven't even played it, but I don't know. Like there's it's come out now. It's gotten reviewed. It's at like a 70, which like seems about right. I wonder what we guessed when we did the
well, if you're around, let us know. I would love to check in on that.
I wonder what we guessed for that one. But there's some people who are like still like, the industry had it against this game from the beginning. Like,
it just looked generic from the beginning. That's all. It really did. Madden 24 is out as well. And it's like, man, playing a sports game. Come on.
You know what?
Kidding me?
I had to go. So I went to my GameSpot or Stop, whatever the hell today, because I wanted to get a second Switch controller because I had my niece over. I want to have like an actual controller for her to use when doing stuff. So I got this like,
that's really
Zelda thing.
Really nice.
Batteries too, which is neat. But it was so weird. I went in there, like they had like a sign on the door, like no more Madden. Sorry. Like,
yeah.
like,
weird.
That's right. Madden's still a very big deal. Yeah. That's right.
Yep. It's not actually quite as big as NBA 2K these days, but it's still very big. All right, T-Bucket 23. On the next Nintendogs, will there be a topic on favorite Charles Martinet voice acting moments? I like when he goes wahoo. I'll just answer it now.
Wow. I mean, I liked when he would actually get to like say longer form things, like when he would do that screen capture business or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the best thing is him having Mario sleeping and him just saying random Italian foods.
Spaghetti.
Yeah. Like it's the best kind of like stereotype sort of racism because like you got away with it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Italians were just like, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. I, on behalf of all Italians at the time, and I was 10, said it was okay. So.
Okay. So then there we go. From the mouth of babes.
We'll do what is your favorite Nintendo voice acting in general.
Cool.
There you go. That's our topic for next week. There you go, mods.
Rachel Acker says, excuse me, I think I skipped one. Chris, no one will ever top Charles' performance of Mario screaming in agony while being set on fire in 64 and Sunshine fire emoji.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff.
Right? I wonder how many takes that took.
From Rachel Acker, do either of you gather people and have a party when a game comes out? I usually do for Mario Party releases. What dishes would you serve? Very good question, Rachel. I think for a game like that is like a party game, I might try to do that, but I haven't done it for a very long time.
I mean, it's weird now because like a lot of times, I will just get a game and a code in an email. I think I talked about this before. It's hard to like, you don't get the same hype reaction. It's like, oh, the email's finally here. As like driving to the store, getting the game, taking it home. Plus, so I have the game, but other people don't. So I can't really like invite them over. We're all going to celebrate. When it was like something like Smash Bros. Brawl came out, was like a bunch of us went because we wanted to play it right away. I don't think I provided food for anybody, but yeah.
When Super Smash Brothers for Wii U came out, I was in Colorado and I took the game to a developer in the Denver area. I can't even remember who it was now. I can't remember the name of the studio, but I'm like, I need to play this game with some people. Do you guys like? mind if I come visit you, talk about your games, and then we could play some Smash Brothers? And they got it all set up, and I brought it over. And we played Smash Brothers all night, and I was able to like write that for part of the review or whatever, or like just have like some take on it or whatever. And it was like, that was pretty fun. But that's probably the last time I did anything like that. And then what dishes would you serve if you were to do something like this, Mike? Did you say, or did you say you wouldn't?
Just order a pizza. I'm not gonna make something. What, are you crazy?
Yeah, I think it's probably what I'd probably order a pizza or order like Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that.
I don't get sick when I eat B-dubs anymore, man. I'll just get wings somewhere else.
Just gotta. Well, I mean, I was gonna say weak stomach, but you literally have Crohn's.
Well, I do. I do. That's correct.
Yes, medical condition.
That is the
problem. Willow Davis, would you rather drink Poltergeist or spank Mr. Mime? Well,
obviously, I'll drink Poltergeist. I guess that would be murder. Maybe Poltergeist likes it though.
Oh, well. Mr. Mime definitely likes being spanked.
Mr. Mime will definitely like it, and that's what I'm
so
afraid
if we're worried
of
about the enjoyment level of the Pokemon, I think Mr. Mime's got that one for sure. Dr. Ryan, I Googled Charlton Martinet Roblox boob, and now I have to delete my browser history. Thanks for nothing, guys. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
We'll always be here for you, Dr. Ryan.
You're welcome.
Huey F. Newton, Mike, should Def be the voice, the new voice of Toad? Take it away, Toad. Toad being now I'm just imagining Toad being the first person to announce the death of Osama bin Laden, like The Rock. Thank you very much. That's what I needed. From Alex, what would it sound like if Mario maybe had a British accent?
Oh, I got noise gated. Toad got noise gated. No. Damn it.
Are you recording this, Christian?
Yeah, I got it.
So he'll have it on the podcast version.
Everybody, listen to the podcast version if you're listening live. You don't want to miss it.
You don't want to miss it. It was some good stuff. Very good stuff.
Yeah, I got the flute as well, so it's all on the podcast.
I could probably adjust that next time. What would it sound like if Mario maybe had a British accent? Let's say you had a Cockney sort of Pack from AEW accent. What do we sound like?
Oh, I'm gonna go rescue the Princess Peach. I'm gonna dance with your triangle. And Bowser's gonna go vacation with that triangle. And it
beautiful. It's very beautiful. I don't think that one was noise gated. I think we're good.
Thank you.
And then Daily Beating says Martinet is a legend, and I'll miss his Mario, but I'm really going to miss his Wario. And I'm right there with you. I feel the same way. That does it for the super chats, though, Mike. Back to you.
Well, let's take one more break. Let's come back. I'm sure we got a bunch of questions from our podcast producers. Let's get to those. If you want to send any more super chats, though, people, we will read them before the end of the show. Thank you.
Perfect.
Yes, Fish and Love. This is a lemon sorbet.
I didn't know. Matcha is just green tea, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you said chat like I was wrong when I said that. You're like, no, it's different. It's like I think it's.
I saw 100%. I thought it was a different shit because it's like a powder and shit.
Yeah, look at this.
Like it's
very green, and that's not what I associate green tea. I don't think green tea is that green when I order it from a place.
Things can be green and not be green tea, motherfucker. The leaves, the grass is green and it's no green tea. Shut the fuck up.
Well, I'm just saying when I order a green tea at like Starbucks or something, it looks brown. They don't give you matcha. But
it's probably not as green.
Right. Listen. I'm saying that I am a stupid baby-brained idiot on this stuff. That's what
okay. Okay. I thought you were like saying like, oh, he's green, dumbass. How don't you realize it's green tea? No.
I'm saying I order green tea. I'm like, I order black tea. I'm like, that's brown too. They look exactly the same. How am I supposed to? Why are they called colors? But now I see this matcha tea.
Everybody.
It's like fucking radioactive green.
Green tea. This is my green tea. I drink this all the time.
Green tea is matcha is green tea. I'm just
more yellow.
In shambles today.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm from Ohio and Michigan. I don't think about tea that much, to be honest. Like if it's like if it comes in a bottle, but I'm not thinking about the bottle. I'm just like I just needed a drink. So yeah,
that's fair. All right, let's get this done.
Yes, I am. We're good over here. So whenever you want to bring it back, Mike.
And we're back, Jeff. Let's get to these questions. Jump Matt says, "What other 2D Nintendo series would Mercury Steam do a good job with?" Like the best thing about Metroid Dread's the movement. Does Nintendo have a lot of other 2D side-scrolling series that are known for the movement? I guess Donkey Kong Country, actually. Which is funny, right? Now we're gonna get Mercury Steam, a company working on Metroid 2, also just pivot to Donkey Kong Country. But...
Let's do it. Hey, you know what? I would love a new Donkey Kong Country game from someone like that, and especially one that was like, could we go back to the Silicon Graphics style visuals? Like, I would kill for that.
I hope we could at least kind of replicate it.
Replicate it, of course.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I would actually be a pretty big fan of that too, Jeff. I would like that more than just Tropical Freeze's pretty good looking 3D models. Like, that's fine, but yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, good looking games, but man, I love that Silicon Graphics style.
Beefhammer says, why?
No reason. There's no reason for any of this.
Patch JC says, hey dogs, question for Mike. Is there a reason you don't review games as often anymore? Just curious. Yeah,
because he's big shit. He's in charge. He doesn't do the work. He's got little people for that.
I have pivoted to more of an editor, team leader role at GamesBeat. I don't do as much writing in general.
He's in meetings.
Might be a review soon though. Next up is from Hosp, who says, hey yo dogs, who's hyped for the newly announced Expeditions, a Mud Runner game? Let's fucking tow!
Yeah!
I like that. Let's tow.
Yes!
Wow, okay.
Good. I'm sorry, I'm very excited about it.
Chuck 1991 says, so considering that most people, you two included, thought it was still Charles Martinet voicing Mario and Wario.
Okay, we get it. All right, we get it.
We're wrong. Yeah. There's really no need to speculate / worry about what the new voice actor will sound like, right? They clearly seem to be going for a sound-alike versus a new take. Do you think this is the right choice? Yeah, like, it, not to make anything about Disney, but I remember when the voice of Mickey from my childhood, who did it like all in the 80s and 90s and like up to the end of the 2000s, died and the new one came in. It was weird for a bit because it still mostly sounds like Mickey, but it's a little bit different. It takes a while to kind of get over that. So I'm sure for a while, like the little differences are going to kind of like stick out and bug you for a while.
Especially because they're trying to do Martinet. Like, they're trying to do Martinet's Mario.
Which they should.
Yeah, and they should. But it's like, so the differences will stick out a little bit more for a little bit, like Mike said. I think that's right.
But it is the right choice. I don't want like some new take on it. Like, the movie was obviously like able to do what the movie does.
Yes, but the movie should be its own thing, though. That we don't need cross-pollination there.
Casual says, dear Mike, plunder only happens when I'm stealing Minotti. And Jeff, please, Daniel Dory is my father. Call me Daniel Doo-Doo Grubb. Jeff, did Mike's house look like he thought it would? If you haven't been yet, what do you think the Mikey Palace looks like? He has been here.
I have been there, and it looks like what I thought it would look like. It's a nice house with the but it's also pretty scattered, similar to mine. So it's this is how I would live too. So 100%.
I still desperately want to like organize enough to the point where I can hire a cleaner to come in and actually clean my house. Maybe this weekend.
That was another.
Be so nice.
I had a real bad weekend with that kind of stuff. I had to cancel my service because it just went so bad. I felt scammed like so many times. I added them on Twitter so that I could pull the big time, like, look how many followers I have, because I was so angry with this thing. So make sure you go with someone that like people recommend and not like Angie or something, because that's just
what
bullshit.
Happened. They just like weren't showing up. They did a bad job.
I paid for 6 cleanings. 2 people came over several months. And then over several weeks, I guess. The one time someone came, they sat out in their car, and I was waiting for them to come in. They never called and they never texted. But they said they contacted me through the app, and then they left. So they still get paid. And I'm like, that's clearly a scam. That's clearly them showing, because if they show up as going to the house on the GPS in the app, then it counts for them. Oh, they used their time, so they still get full pay because it counts as like a no-show. And I'm like, come on. And like, they were sitting there, they never came to my door. I was waiting. I was standing there. And then why
can't they knock? Why
everyone else knocked? Because they could. It was deliberate. It was 100% them gaming the system. Man. Then this past one, this person's like, hey, I'm scheduled to come clean your house. The name of the service is like, hey, well, they set me up with your house, but hey, text me. I'm like, okay, great, here we go. I text them, and they're like, how much you paying? I told them how much I'm paying. They're like, I'm only getting like a third of that. Or, if you want to pay half of what you're paying to me directly, I'll cancel it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Come and clean. They're like, no, pay me first. No. So I'm like, hey, I need to cancel my service. I feel like every 2 weeks I'm getting hustled here. And that was the whole thing. Because they're like, well, if you want to cancel your service before this term, you got to pay us a fee. I'm like, go fuck yourself. No, you guys are terrible at this. So it was like a long night of being on customer service to kind of cancel that. So I was pretty like bummed out and like miserable after that.
Maybe there's just someone I know. If I was like, hey, would you like to like come clean my house?
Well, the first people that came part of Handy, they left their card and they did a great job. So I'm just gonna call them directly and pay them pretty close to what I was paying Handy. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay, good. I needed this cautionary tale. I mean, it's a scary thing too. Like, hey, come in my house and go to every part of my house, especially the nooks and crannies.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, and so
please don't tell anybody if you see anything like that's expensive.
Right, but it's also like you said, you want to like you want to organize things so you feel comfortable. So it's like you got to line all these things up. Of I'm going to schedule someone and use up their time, so I want to make sure I'm ready for that. And then I don't want to like do the research or find out who would be good and like who people recommend until I'm organized. And then at that point, by the time it's all ready to go, things have like entropied to a certain extent to the house is messy again. And now I got to clean up again. It's a hassle. You got to clean for the cleaners. Always. Everyone does it. But yeah, I would just ask around. If anybody in your neighborhood or any of your friends have a cleaner, that's the way to do it. Okay, let's see here.
No, I do this, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. Go ahead. Oh yeah, we're not doing the super chats anymore. My bad.
No, that was a while ago. We're on
yeah,
Patreon. Questions out. Nick Turbo says, "Hey Jeff, woke devs are making title screens ugly, Grubb, and like every game that scores below is not a 9 is literally unplayable Minotti." That's right. Okay, we didn't bring this up, Jeff. I don't talk about with you on here. I don't want to go into too much. Just to be clear, that title screen guy has been the biggest ass clown for years, just
for like at least a decade, for at least a solid decade.
Longer, yeah, but probably longer than that.
Yes,
his one claim to fame was being involved at Blizzard at the right place at the right time, and then getting kicked out of there pretty quickly to a point where I'm always skeptical, like just how much of that really was him. Who knows? But then the Firefall hilarious things, and then he just became the biggest, leeching onto whatever the Gamergate-esque gripers were complaining about lately, which included, of course, always appeasing himself to the World of Warcraft content creators who only just complained about World of Warcraft and looking like, yeah, I make it good. The funniest shit was his Wikipedia page. I looked at it as this was happening. It is clearly like written by him or like one of his weird fans to make it look like he made World of Warcraft Classic happen. Yeah, somebody, we'll never find out who. Somebody reported that and it got changed. Who knows?
Okay.
Yeah, but God, that guy's been a piece of shit forever.
Yeah,
I hate him.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit, and it just and you could just tell, like, by the way that he conducted the Firefall stuff, there's no way he is responsible for the success of World of Warcraft in any way. Where
are all his World of Warcraft buddies to come in and talk about all his great contributions then, huh? Funny how none of them ever say anything about it.
He probably worked hand in hand with Miyamoto on Metroid Prime 4 as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna try to see if I can find some Firefall merch on eBay or something so I can wear the packs and like
we could buy the bus.
Yeah. Oh my God, if that thing is like available to buy, we should just get the money together and do it, everybody.
Incredible.
I want to like wear a bunch of Firefall merch to PAX and just like walk around and be like, "Where's the Firefall booth?" Like, and just do that bit. That's good.
We and you did play it with like one of those early PAX Cs. It was there. Anyways,
it was there.
I shouldn't even give him any oxygen. I know, but God, he just really grinds my gears. I'm sorry. Nick Turbo continues. Over the weekend, I beat Super Metroid for the Game Club and have many thoughts for the discussion. I realized Super Metroid is the oldest game I've ever beaten.
Oh, wow.
What is the oldest game you have finished? I was going to say a game that was released before you were born, but you two are dinosaurs. It's kind of difficult because most of the games from like that are older than me, you don't beat. Really.
Right, yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's like Pac-Man and like Atari shit. Like the oldest game I've probably beaten is Super Mario Brothers, I'm guessing, which to me is basically the first modern video game in a ton of ways.
That's probably the same for me. Super Mario Brothers.
I didn't beat Adventure. I didn't even beat the original King's Quest out of me mouse. That might have made sense.
I always think like I'll play Adventure, but who has the time? Yeah, I think it must be Super Mario Brothers. I can like maybe think, but that probably is the answer.
Yeah, it must be Super Mario Brothers. Francis McBasketball says, I've been getting annoyed with gamers acting like they know how to market video games. The most recent example being people acting like Mortal Kombat 1 is going to tank due to the bad marketing. Well, who's even saying that?
What's the bad marketing?
What's the bad one? It's not going to tank. It's going to do very well. Two, what bad marketing?
It looks. I mean, every time we see it, people get more and more excited about it. So
you see Shujenko's in that new trailer as a cameo?
I didn't see that. No.
Shujenko is the freaking like player character in Mortal Kombat Deception story mode.
Whoa,
it's a great pull. So I'm very excited about my boy Shujenko coming back. Even just as a cameo, I'm like, yeah, let's go. That's great. Continues. Why are gamers like this? Are they just morons? Did I ask this question so you two could call gamers stupid? Yes. Hey, remember that annoying guy I was talking about? He totally had all of the World of Warcraft players eating out of the palm of his hand for a while, acting like he was the reason World of Warcraft was ever good, and they would just all shower him with... Yeah, gamers are just stupid idiots.
Yep. Yeah, it's very, very easy to... Because, like, what was that theory where it's like people, the less you know about something, the more of an expert you feel like you are in that subject. That's definitely gamers with how this stuff works. That's Dunning-Kruger. Is it Dunning-Kruger? Yeah.
I don't know, actually.
It's definitely what's happening constantly in gaming, and it's frustrating.
Excuse me, I meant to say some gamers are idiots, not all of them.
Well, I mean, listen, if you're wise and know what to do, like with your money, for example, you're a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/GameMess, and then you're not an idiot. You're a smart guy.
I'm all worked up, Jeff. I gotta drink more green tea. Diet citrus green tea.
Which one are we worked up about people being upset about Mortal Kombat? Is that what it is? No?
No, still mostly that.
Yeah, the Grubb's guy, whatever. Yeah. I mean, he fucking sucks. He's such a shit.
He does so much. Yeah. Shoji Koda says, hey there, doggos. Charles Martinet stepping back from Mario is totally because he's beefing with Nintendo over Chris Pratt and or the Mario movie, right? Okay, but in all seriousness, how long until we get Chris Son voicing Mario in the games? He's so cool. Yeah, we're Shigeru Miyamoto. He hasn't sent a super chat about this yet. I'm shocked.
Where you at, Shiggy?
Yeah, I know you're joking, Shoji, but never, ever gonna happen.
Yep.
Benji says, dear Rough Riders, does Mike even know who DMX is? Arf, arf, arf. Man, I read that. I was about to say that's the bicycle thing, but that's BMX, obviously.
What? Oh my god.
I think that sounds familiar. I think I know DMX is a musical artist,
a hip hop artist.
We'll give it
rest
to
in
you.
Peace. Yes, X is going to give it to you.
Mike is going to give it to you.
So yeah, if you knew who DMX was, I would have a giant bomb video to recommend to you. One of the funniest things ever is when they made DMX Goomba in Super Mario Maker. Jeff Gerstmann just did the DMX voice, and then you could put that into the clip of like what happens when a Goomba like walks towards you or something.
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Very, very funny stuff.
The Eden says, dogs. Camelot Software Publishing hasn't put out something in a minute. Am I a fool for hoping they'll release a new Golden Sun, or are they forever trapped in the Mario Golf and Tennis labyrinth?
I mean, those games they cost this much, they make that much. Golden Sun probably costs a little bit more, makes a little bit less. It's just arithmetic at a certain point, I think, for Nintendo. That doesn't mean they'll never make another Golden Sun. They'll probably get around to it eventually. The 3DS one, or was it the DS one? The DS one really kind of just derailed that series, unfortunately.
Man, like Camelot's last non-Mario Golf or Tennis game was Golden Sun Dark Dawn for the DS.
Yeah. I mean, and since then it's just been like, we know how to make money from a partnership with Camelot, and also, Camelot knows how to what to pitch to Nintendo that they're going to say yes to. So, and it's the Mario sports games.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just looking at that, I think their next. So see the golf game was newer than the tennis game, so I bet their next game will be the next Mario Tennis. Unfortunately,
they might do that baseball game. Still, we'll see.
I would like that.
Me too.
I would like that. Did they do that? The other?
Maybe they didn't. Maybe I'm just assuming they did. But so you're right. If it's not that, if that's someone else,
I don't think they did.
Is that Nintendo software technology or whatever?
Yeah, because it wasn't Luigi's Mansion Team either.
No,
Next Level. It wasn't Next Level. It wasn't Camelot. I don't know who made the baseball games. There's two of them. Okay, next one here is from Inufe. It says, woof woof. Why do you think From Software only put out Dark Souls 1 remastered on Switch and none of the other Souls games. I kind of forgot about that. Did Dark Souls 2 and 3 get remastered similarly to Dark Souls 1? Or was it
I don't think
just like
so,
those
but
just
I'm just guessing.
were backwards compatible and worked fine? I don't know.
Yeah.
Not exactly sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Seems like they haven't been. So maybe if that does happen, it'll end up on Switch. But also, Dark Souls Remastered is probably the one that you definitely wanted to get on Switch. Probably would do the best.
Right.
Yeah.
What's a little awkward? I know not everybody agrees with this, but I know there's at least a segment, or maybe even a loud segment, of people that don't like Dark Souls 2 as much as the other two, right?
Yeah, I know, and there's a lot of people that deeply defend Dark Souls 2, so that's a whole thing.
That's a whole thing, and I'm not going to get involved in that. Gerbear says, do you think the Switch 2 will be able to run Metal Gear Solid at 60 FPS, or am I expecting too much? I think technically it can. I don't know if there's going to be some patch for the Metal Gear Solid collection to make those games suddenly run at 60 FPS, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think they're just not going to do the work to make that happen. It probably would have just taken a little bit extra work to ensure that the emulation was going to be solid at 60 frames per second. And they're like, it's inconsistent. Just lock it at 30.
Bikes and Brew says, % chance Metroid Prime 4 comes out in 2024. Pretty good. I'd say like an 80% chance.
Yeah, I would say 80 is the number I would have said as well.
Look at that. Wow, we're twinning so hard right now. Jamie H1224 says, calling out Christian for not telling you about Thunder Ray, a Punch-Out homage coming to all platforms later this year from Purple Tree, an Argentinian studio. Did you see this, Jeff? I did see this, and I thought of you.
You know what? I did see this, but I didn't recognize that it was I just saw the image on Steam, and I didn't click it. I did notice that it felt like a boxing game. But now that I'm looking at the screenshots, holy monkey, this looks fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't even know this existed. I'm sorry to my fellow Argentinian.
Okay, well, now I will play this as soon as it's available, which it's not yet, apparently.
Yeah,
coming out this year,
definitely will have to.
Yeah.
You and Dan will have to play it together. We do a quick look or something. See what you
that'd
think.
Be great.
Always Be Clothing says, greetings, Mike. What is Boob Minotti and Jeff binge Mary Poppins Grubb? Please rank the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from your favorite to least favorite. Trying to settle a bet. Thanks for all the fun. Jeff, I would really like to give the floor to you and go first, please.
Yeah, I think I've recently said that I don't have a ranking of favorite Turtles. Wow. It's just, they're all fine. I like them all. But if I'm forced to, I suppose, I don't want to be judged for this because, again, I don't care. But probably this is from worst to best, or maybe worst to my favorite. Raphael, Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo. I like all of them.
Yeah, I like all of them too. I'd probably go. It's hard because there's so many different versions. And Raphael really runs the gambit of being a little bit too whiny, edgelord to me.
Yes.
Sometimes actually being the best. But in general, I'll go Mikey, Raph, Leo, Donnie.
Okay. That's it. Wait,
I like Donnie.
Is that best to worst?
That's best to worst. Mikey Pop. Okay. Donnie. It depends. Donnie is so good in the video games a lot of the time. But yeah, we'll go with that.
Yep.
All right. Next up here is Mr. Bohr says, is Rusty Slugger a sad dad?
Yes, he absolutely is. He is Nintendo's most sad dad. I would play a third-person shooter behind the shoulder camera game with him. Absolutely.
Screaming Madden says, hello, Jeff. That's totally Chuck Grubb and Mike, the ideal Charles Martinet Air Minotti. Well, it's sad to hear the news that Martinet will step down voicing Mario and other characters. I have a fun fact for you, Nintendogs, about him. Did you know Martinet's Nintendo published game debut was actually Super Punch-Out, where he voices the announcer, referee, and all the boxers?
Whoa.
Whenever Gabby Jace goes yay before a fight, that's Charles. Oh, I did not know that.
That's fantastic.
That makes some sense so that he had a relationship with Nintendo even before he was doing Mario.
He was a proven factor before they hired him for that.
Interesting. Tokyo Gameway says, I went to the Pokemon World Championships in Yokohama last week. It was a ton of fun, and there were a lot of Pokemon-themed activities inspired by Japanese culture. If the Pokemon World Championships took place in Ohio, what kind of Pokemon-themed activities would there be? We tailgate.
Yeah, Pokemon barbecues. Definitely what I was going to say. Yes.
We'll have a historical reenactment of a Civil War battle, even though none happened here.
Yes,
we
exactly.
do it anyways.
We have the Blue Jackets, so yeah, definitely. Can you ferment any Pokemon and make a craft brew?
Ferment a Pokemon. Yeah. We gotta turn them into beer, basically.
Somehow, if we can turn, there you go. There's your answer, because that's what we have.
Yeah, we'll all go over Floyd's house and get drunk. That's the Ohio tradition. Next up is from...
Just real quick, there's a GabbyJ.com, and if you go there, it's just a button where you can hit yay. It's fantastic.
Charles, apparently. Incredible. Bop Rush Cyberfunk says, woof woof to my dogs. What's your favorite start screen? Follow up, what's your favorite bus-related advertisement? Bonus points if said advertisement costs more than $3 million. Thanks as always. Have a great weekend. That's the thing. They're actually, there are like some title screens that are, quote, better than others. It doesn't matter very much. But yeah, there have, okay, I do really like the Kingdom Hearts start screens with that music and the menu and the way the music beeps, or the menu beeps when you go between the two. I've always liked those a lot.
Yeah, mine is easily Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. Where the music starts with one instrument and then it adds another and then another and another until it's got the full orchestra going, and the little a Super FX2 powered island is spinning and moving and it looks great. That's an all-timer for me.
Next up is from Boomer of the Wild. What's up, duders? I recently visited an indie retro game shop here in New York City. They have a bunch of cool stuff that I've never seen before. Ended up staring at one of the earliest Nintendo Power magazines they had on display and had me wondering, do you guys have any memorable or favorite magazine covers that you might have come across? Edit, here's a cute image of a signed DS by Miyamoto that was at the shop. That is very neat. I got old magazines all over the place, and I can't really... I wish I had the EGM Dreamcast issue somewhere. I had it at some
literally
point. That's
the one I was thinking of too. Yep,
literally the best magazine.
$9.99 Dreamcast logo is the whole front. It's great. It was also like a really, really thick issue, so I always remember it being really weighty. That's a great one. But I that's when like graphic design was becoming their passion at video game magazines. Before that, it was just like, let's just throw a bunch of garbage on there, and I love that era too. There's an EGM that had like Tobal #1 on there, and it just had that CGI character and something about that. It was like just this really stark background, and then that dumb idiot from Tobal #1, and I remember that being really good too. There's a whole bunch.
Let's get to ball #1 and Tomba mixed up. I thought you were talking about that caveman guy with the pink hair for a second.
1000% the same. Yep, I do that all the time too. There's another one. Irgur's what's the Final Fantasy fighting
the heavy
game?
Yeah, I get that in. I used to get that in Einhander.
Einhander gets in there too. Yep, definitely.
Yeah, it's an Einhander. Yeah, God of the Ring or something, or God Bless the Ring. Yeah, the fighting game that had Cloud and Sephiroth in it.
Yeah.
Next one, not Smash Brothers. The next one here is from Crouching Boomer Hidden Zoomer, who says, "Dear Mike, Barbara Jan, Minotti, and Jeff, this isn't Barbara Jan Grubb. If it's so easy to make a Pokemon, how about we get some new Pokemon from the Nintendogs? Oh yeah, sure. Here's how about a Pokemon that's a tin whistle with eyeballs and it can shoot water.
How about
a fucking Pokemon for you?
How about a Pokemon that is a wrinkled old social security card that I'm not going to show everybody?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Flute Foon. Flute Typhoon. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, it's easy. Anyone can do that shit. Social security card. Next one here is from Chaos Buckaroo. Says, "Howdy, fellas. I'm eating Mario-themed Oreos as I write this. I had the Pikmin drink a few weeks ago. Do you guys have any favorite gaming branded products or particular memories of them? Food wise, I just think about those, Mountain Dew Gamer Fuels, especially when they did it like for Halo 3 that one time, right?
That was like the biggest one, or the earliest big one, right?
Yeah.
Then they would switch to Call of Duty after a while.
There was Super Mario soda or something when I was a kid. It was one of the very few ones from my childhood that was like that. And there was Sonic SpaghettiOs. Actually, when I was a kid, I was a big fan of the Sonic SpaghettiOs. That was a big one.
I feel like they had those recently again, but maybe I'm making that up.
I can see that happening.
Yeah, the Nintendo
still pretty popular.
The Nintendo cereal system. I definitely had that as a kid once.
Oh right.
Had the Mario on one side, Zelda on the other.
That'd been cool.
Yeah, they've done similar stuff like that in the years since, but that's the one I remember the most.
Brightfish says, "Sup, dogs. Say you had a really long flight coming up. What game or games would you bring along to play in transit?" Well, Jeff and I do have a long flight coming up. We're going to Seattle together. But I just sleep, Jeff. I take a Dramamine and I go to sleepy sleep. I'll have my Switch with me just in case, but don't even necessarily like have a plan for what I'm going to play during it. It's just, if it comes to that, I open the Switch and find something to play, but I don't like plan on it. What about you?
I come up with a plan to play games, and then the plane takes off, and I get very sleepy, and I almost always sleep at this point on planes, even when I don't mean to. And I think a big part of it's like the recycled air. It's dry in there. I think the pressure causes enough that enough of those factors work together and make me be like, I'm just gonna nod off here, and then next thing I know, we're landing, and that's nice because that feels like time travel. So, but if I was gonna play games, I would have. I'll probably have the Switch ready, but it's like this feels like a good time to just like go through the Steam library and pick some stuff that I downloaded on this thing and actually play it now. So that's usually what I end up doing.
Next one is from Bugadillo. Says, "Hey, big dogs, what are all y'all's favorite video game YouTube channels besides Giant Bomb? I know Mike talks about Matt McMuscles a lot, but do you guys have any others in regular rotation?" Yeah, I watch quite a few of them. There's a guy named Sean Johnson, like Sean. And then I forget how Johnson is spelled, the second Johnson. But he does PlayStation 1 stuff specifically, and I like his videos a lot. He has some really long ones too, which I like here's talking about every single like Square Enix game for PlayStation 1, right? So I like that stuff. I've actually been like catching up on GameSack. I never watched that very much until this year, and so there's a ton there to watch. They're generally pretty good videos. Every once in a while they'll have an opinion, and I'll just be like, what? But what are you gonna do? That's fine. That's okay. I don't know, Jeff. How about you?
I like Gaming Historian. But I feel like I've watched all his stuff at this point. I got a lot of friends.
Salt. Obviously.
What's that?
Summoning Salt, obviously. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Summoning Salt. Definitely, I've watched a lot of those. A lot of friends stuff. I'll watch like Mr. Matty Plays stuff, and just
Modern Vintage Gamers, friends like that.
Yes, yeah. Dreamcast guy. I like watching his stuff. I think he talks about games in a way that I really appreciate.
Yeah, dude does some good stuff too, especially pretty Nintendo focused a lot of the time. So if you like that, if you're listening to this, check out Ant Dude.
Yes, and Dude's a very nice person too. But hey, if anyone wants to send me any recommendations, like send me some videos in Discord at me. Don't hesitate to at me. Be like, hey, I like this video, because I'm looking for more of that stuff. I feel like it's becoming more and more difficult for me to like have that stuff naturally come across my view. So I want to like make that happen. I want to like force that issue a little bit. So send me some recommendations if you have some videos you really like, especially if it's stuff that will help me beat Mike in Jeopardy.
Yeah, we'll see. Josh Strife Hayes, we talked about a bit ago, because he does like a lot of MMO stuff. He also does a lot just kind of like video essays on some PlayStation 1 era games and stuff like that.
Did you know gaming's been very good for the last 2 years?
Oh yeah, they've
been crushing it. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Gerard, another.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, Gerard, of course.
Gerard, tons of people. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, next one is from Jackie G, who says, "Evening chums. In my entire time on the internet, I have never heard a negative in regards to Chrono Trigger. I've just beaten the game for the first time, and I'm sad to say it didn't click with me. My question to you is, what is wrong with me?"
No, it's mid. You're right.
No, you shut up. Yeah.
I barely played it.
No, I bet in a couple of years there's gonna be a lot of people that agree with you. Actually, like the Super Metroid thing started as because I told Jeff a few years ago, because people were starting the Mario 64 was never a good thing, and I was like, just wait, Jeff, they're gonna come for Super Metroid next, and we laughed at the time. Then like sure enough, a couple years later, all of a sudden all these people like, Super Metroid's not that good. Here they are. So yeah, nothing will ever be sacred, I'm afraid.
Yeah, apparently not. Yep.
Sleepy Dad said, "Sup my Nintendogs. My question is mainly for Grubb." Well, you can go fuck yourself. I'm not going to read it then. Jat Binks says, "No, I'm joking." "My son has been showing more interest in games lately and playing them on Nintendo Switch. Despite giving him options of all sorts of new games, his favorite thing to play are the classic Super Mario games on NSO. Have your kids shown any interest in older games like that? If so, what games have they liked? Anytime I try to show him something newer, he just says, I want to play the Mario Jumps on Goombas game."
Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, definitely. You might see it during Giant Bomb stuff a lot. Addie will waltz in here and she'll say, "Hey, can I play games?" I'm like, "Yeah." Pick up the controller, shake it, turn it on, and it'll switch the inputs on automatically. And then I'll look over and she could be playing anything. She could be playing Pikmin, she's been playing a lot of Pikmin 4 the last couple of days. But a lot of times I look over and she will be playing Super Mario World. She'll be playing Kirby. Was playing Paper Mario. She can't read. But she just like she likes going through Nintendo Switch Online games and just like booting up whatever she can find, and she'll just seriously give it a shot and try to actually play it. So it's like not even just like dabbling. She's like, no, I want to see how this works. And very rare, like for Paper Mario, she is like, can you read do the voices, and I'll play with her and read the voices. But everything else, she's mostly trying to figure out on her own. So. Yeah, it's cool. I've never forced the issue. I never even really showed her Nintendo Switch Online. I guess maybe I did once to show them, look, there's a bunch of other Kirby games on here when they were both very into Kirby. And now she's just like exploring it on her own. And I think that's fantastic. I'm a big approval of that.
Is the Kirby phase done?
No, well, okay. Emmy still likes Kirby a lot, but now she is much more like, just pink in general is like her thing now. Pink is like pink replaced purple as her favorite color, which was her favorite color for years and years. And I got her that Kirby backpack at the Nintendo World Store in New York, and she does not want to use it. So, yep. So Addie was like, "I'll use it." I'm like, "Okay." So now Addie's getting more into Kirby actually. So
okay,
yeah. I mean, Emmy definitely still likes Kirby, but it's not as hot and heavy as it once was. Definitely not.
See, I feel like that's so. That's most kids, right? They have phases, but man, like I feel like everything I liked as a kid, most part was stuff I just ended up liking forever, which is maybe part of my, maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know, but like I liked Mega Man since I was like 2.
It'll definitely. There's always going to be high tide and low tide with this stuff. What is it? Right, Pikmin was the one. Like as kids, they loved it when I showed them anything Pikmin. They're like, I love these little guys, and we'll watch the shorts. And I had the stuffed animals, and they would play with them. And then Pikmin went away, and then I started playing Pikmin 4, and they watched a little bit of it. And then Pikmin's just been the biggest thing for them for like the last couple of weeks. They are constantly putting the Pikmin toys into little pots and pretending like they're pulling them out of the ground.
That's funny.
I'll hear I'll be working or like making lunch, and they'll be in the other room, and then I'll just hear them both going, oh, huh, oh, huh, oh, huh. And they'll have the little Pikmin like carrying something into the room as they're doing like the little Pikmin noises. So I'm like, oh, this is great. So it'll come and go. 1,000%. I bet Kirby's going to be back in like their number one spot in like a couple years.
Oh, we got an important super chat here from the Uncharted Wolf. Who says, for Mortals of Avium, Jeff said 74. And Mike said 71 points for Mike. Man, I'm so close. It's a 70. Maybe I take back what I said. Immortals looks a lot better than people are getting credit for. Somebody should write some more positive reviews for it. Now, wait, what is this bias? And Fire Wolf said points for Mike with a like sick, sad face. What the hell
Wolf
is this?
Just recognizes. He says it's nauseated face is what it is.
What the hell is this? What's this? This cheering from the press box. That's not press box. But
the referee is listen, I approve of it. I'll say that much. I approve of what Wolf has said here about his nauseated face.
Jack Bing says, "Hey Jeff attracts people with his fridge magnet collection Grubb. I think we talked about this before, but I'm with you. Like even in Disney World, like that's what I just want is a fridge magnet. It's like
It's
$2. It's
small. It's cheap. It is.
I see it all the time, so it's actually like a good memento.
Exactly. You're right. You see it every time you go to the fridge. They're usually really fun designs. Like Bailey mentioned that, where she's like, yeah, the ones from aquariums look like fish. It's like, yeah, that's fun. It's like a fun little toy that serves a purpose and can be a memento for a thing. And also, my big thing is it'll never be worth anything. So I'm not in some weird thing where I feel like I got to collect them all. Or I gotta keep them safe. No, they're fun memories in a little form, and that's the ideal thing for me.
If they're not worth anything, that means I could probably buy some like vintage fridge magnets for nothing.
Okay, those are probably worth something. For Disney, those. Okay, listen, not talking about Disney stuff, so I don't know. Okay. Don't take my word for that.
Jack Big says
real quick. Uncharted Wolf says you said mean things about his favorite game. What's his favorite game?
Yeah, what's your favorite game, Uncharted Wolf? What could have been? That would have said me think was it your favorite game Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? Because you have it coming if that's true. Chat Bigsa said, I have beaten Final Fantasy VII Remake early in the morning today after work. Are there any games you enjoy playing early morning? Jeff, I barely exist in the early morning, let alone play anything in the early morning. So not really for me. How about you though?
I used to be like, the idea of playing games early in the morning is so unnatural. It makes me like, it made me have nauseated face. And now at this point, I'm like, I should set my alarm and get up before everyone else and play games in the early morning. I could get so much done. So I constantly think that I would play most things in the early morning. Maybe not like a horror game, but other than that, yeah.
Next one here's from Big Tony. It says, do you think we get another interruption at the next Keeley show? And should he get a pass the swing next time? Thanks, man. I mean, he would have gotten a pass the swing this time if he wanted to. I hope not. I really hope we don't.
Yeah, I hope it's done. I expect it to be done. I expect him to actually have security next time.
I mean, he had security. He just seemed really slow.
Substantial, like, yes. Like, they understand the risk of, if someone comes on stage, it's a danger for everybody, and it's going to make other develop. Like, his whole thing is, I want to get famous people on stage.
Yeah.
Good luck with that, man.
Right. I mean, because Todd Howard was like on right after that happened. It's
right.
Like,
and Todd Howard was a champ about it. Like, he reset the energy and everything. He moved on completely unfazed. Like, I think Keeley was lucky that Todd Howard was the next person up.
Gowden says, "Sup, dogs? Gamescom kicking off today. Do you think there will be any Nintendo-related announcements, updates, or other news this week? Not during Gamescom. Not this week. Maybe shortly after this week, though. I don't know. What do you think, Jeff?"
I'm sorry. What was the question? I was trying to actually see what Wolf said was his favorite game was. I think he says Uncharted.
He had no answer. It's because it was a bullshit excuse. He doesn't even know.
Yeah, okay.
There's no answer. He's got no. He said, "Oh, there's too many to name."
It is sickening when you get points. I agree. He's right.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What was the question?
Do you think there will be any Nintendo-related announcements during this Gamescom week?
No, I don't think. I mean, I would love it, but no. I mean, they got a direct happening pretty soon, so no.
Probably. Wildfire Alex says, "When am I getting Metroid Prime 4? Probably some point next year. Some point next year. Although there's a chat here that made it say 26/9 with the emotes, and that's pretty funny." Lenny Cool Dick Denver says, "Hey Jeff, I like it when characters die in sitcoms. Grubb." And Mike, "Kiss your father on the lips for me." And Audie, Jesus, if there's a category for best side quest of the year in the Game Mess Awards, what would be winning? Now you can't talk about Starfield, but my two front runners are the Olimar quest in Pikmin 4 and the pen/newspaper quest in Tears of the Kingdom. Man, the pen quest is good. There's a bit where I thought there was going to be like a little epilogue to the pen quest, and like, you can go see him, but he doesn't have much to say. So I was hoping for almost a little bit more. Like, I wanted the pen quest to keep going. I guess the Olimar quest is probably going to be the right answer, though. That's basically just another game inside there.
Yep. Yeah, Olimar quest really is it for me. Ideally with Penn is he goes on vacation because he's done, and then he discovers some like murder mystery on the tropical island in to the south, and then you get involved in that. That would have been great. Make it Fletch with Penn and Link, and that'd be very good.
That was my thing with Monk. Why I kind of got tired of Monk. Like Columbo has to solve a bunch of murders because he's a detective.
Yeah,
Monk's like not a detective anymore. Even though he was like helping the police, and they would come to sometimes, they kept doing this thing where people just happened to get murder wherever Monk went.
Yeah.
And it started getting a little cute. Like, Monk's on an airplane. Someone was murdered on the plane. Monk goes to a bed and breakfast. Somebody got murdered at the bed and breakfast. Like, come on.
Yeah, that happened with that show on Peacock with that lady with the gravelly voice. It's trying to be kind of Columbo because you see stuff before. And it's like, man, I kind of wish there was a better excuse other than death just follows her.
Right? Yeah, it's just like, just because the character like talks about it and acknowledges it doesn't make it better.
Right.
Gigante says, "Wolf to my dogs. If we get a Nintendo Direct next month, any chance we see a trailer for a Mario baseball game? Want to punch baseballs with Donkey Kong and hit like Koopa's on fire in the outfield with Mario's fire swing. Thanks. P.S. Mike, please play Mario Superstars Baseball on the GameCube." Oh, I want to. As soon as I see that game, I'm gonna buy it. As soon as I see it somewhere. I have to see it though. I tried buying games on Facebook Marketplace once, Jeff, earlier this year. I got it refunded today. It's like I bought it from some guy. He's like, "All right, I shipped it in March," and then there's just no other updates. And then you message him like, "Hey, what's going on?" He just never says anything. So it's like, all right,
that sucks. Okay, man.
So you have to like do whatever it takes to get a refund, and that was annoying. That's a hard process.
What about like local Facebook Marketplace, like local only?
I think this. Well, it was that. I think the group was. It wasn't even the GameCube swap group. I think the group was called like Poland, like buy, trade, and sell or whatever. It's not worth it. I'm not buying a video game anymore an old game unless I am like picking up a cartridge and exchanging money.
That's fun too, and it's
also more fun that way.
Yeah, we have plenty of opportunities. We're gonna have one in November, right? So
yeah, we're gonna have there's a Cleveland, there's a Pittsburgh conference coming up real soon too.
Okay,
so
so totally. We could go like too many games in Philadelphia next year. We got a lot of friends to go to that. We should go to that. So yeah.
There's a Columbus one even coming up actually, but
let's look into it because I should go down to Columbus.
You have Columbus ties. But Mario Baseball, we hope so. Who's gonna make it is our question.
So Bandai Namco apparently made the old ones.
Oh really? Well, they still have a very good relationship with Bandai Namco, though. Also, they are busy with a lot of things.
Always be busy doing stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I would like it. We'll see. I don't know. If the timing, I don't know if it matters, but this would be late in the baseball season. I suppose they could still release it in October.
I think it would probably be more. Yeah, I think it would come out with next year's baseball season. Is probably more likely.
Probably, yeah. So then probably we don't hear about it then.
Slane McAwesome says, "Dear Mike Helvetica Minotti," I still have that problem, by the way. And Jeff Comic Sans Grubb, what famous video game character should Charles Martinet voice next?
Master Chief.
Master Chief would be good. I was gonna say Link, but that's pretty funny. Master Chief. Dr. Ryan says, while driving back to work from lunch yesterday, a kid in my neighborhood came to the window of my car and asked if I wanted to buy a cool rock for $0.25. So I bought one. Upon further inspection, it's really only so-so. How do I get a refund or exchange? This little card table of rocks is gone, and I fear it may have been swindled. I think you're done for, Dr. Ryan. I think you said to live and learn from that one.
Yeah, this is a life lesson. I hope you take something important away from this. I don't know what it is other than that rock.
It's too bad the kid's gone because you could have just thrown the rock at him.
Throw the rock at kids. Definitely. That's the answer.
That sounds like a Baldur's Gate 3 quest that just happens.
Yeah. Jeremy Biss says, I was listening to Mass Destruction by St. Vincent the other day and remember that she played Fortnite with Abby Russell.
That's right.
What? No, wow, I didn't know that happened this way. What pop star should Mike play video games with? Oh, it should be DMX.
Yes,
what celebrity
it should be?
Yeah, everyone's favorite pop star.
That means you would have to go to hell to play with him because he's dead.
Why? Oh, no, what happened?
Heart attack? Probably. I can't remember.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's a shame. Why is he in hell?
Just DMX seems too cool for heaven. I think that's
fair
it is.
enough.
Yeah.
What celebrity should Jeff play video games with to have him freak out? I personally think Jeff should play video games with Triumph, the Incel Comic Dong, and Jack McBear. Jeff should have to play with freaking who's the guy who directed episode 8?
Oh, Rian Johnson? Yeah.
Yeah, and then you should sniff his farts the entire time.
Hell yeah, let's go.
That's what I think you should do. There you go.
I'd like that. Sure, why not?
I'll play with Taylor Swift. We'll have a lot of fun.
Okay, yeah.
I'll be a Swiftie. Although my niece says that she doesn't like Taylor Swift, but I think that's just her being a counterculture girl. I don't know.
She's very cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Super Harmon says, I'm playing Master Detective Archives Raincode currently.
That's just 4 words.
Yeah, it sure is. Man, there's like the one trailer. It's another Genshin game. I forget what it's called, but they were just like showing things and had anime, like they just like had voiceover over it, but it's just a bunch of different lines. I'm like, they just picked these lines out of a hat. They don't like communicate anything, not what's happening on the screen, nothing about the game. Just like, I mean, it was just nonsense.
What are the chances that trailer was cut together by AI? I think it's like a 10%, 20% chance.
I think you might be onto something, Jeff. You might actually be onto something. I don't know. Okay, and what was it? Well, there's a real question here. So that Raincode game, which is fun, but seems to be one of the many overlooked games this year. Are there any smaller Switch games you were hoping to get to, but now know you just won't have time? I mean, I was worried about Octopath Traveler 2, but I actually started playing that, so I'll talk about that. I complained about not having time for the Trails games before. So yeah, there's definitely things. There's so many of them, it's even hard to keep track of it all.
Yeah,
anymore. I would have liked to have tried WrestleQuest. I assume that's on Switch. I actually don't know, but that's probably just not even going to happen.
Yeah, I think it is.
Sorry, Jeff. Sorry, Mr. Jarrett. Don't tell him.
The one I'm worried about right now is Fae Farm, which is that farming sim game that has multiplayer, and I really want to play it and make content on Giant Bomb for it, but boy, it's going to be hard to make time for that. But yeah, I wanted to spend more time with Disney Illusion Island.
Yeah.
Didn't do that.
Yeah. I haven't started that yet. Okay. Next one here is from Duck Sauce says, "Hey, Mike, Blue Beetle, Ambassador Minotti, and Jet, Sonic Superstars, October 17th, Grubb. You both made top 100 games of all time lists earlier this year. Which of the games you played this year, if any, had been added to the list?" I did go back and added Resident Evil 4 remake to it. I would I would add Tears of the Kingdom for sure.
Definitely.
Not sure exactly where you get. Pikmin 4 might get in there, but it could be lower end, but I think it might get in there. I had to look. I'm not sure.
I think Pikmin 4 will be in there for me for sure.
Yeah. I feel like okay, what else has been that I could talk about? What were the other very, very good? Like Final Fantasy 16, I haven't beat yet. Diablo 4 wouldn't make it. Street Fighter 6, maybe. Street Fighter 6 might make it. I have like Street Fighter 6 a lot. I think that's kind of the other one.
I need to play if I get more time with Baldur's Gate 3, maybe one day, like maybe a million years from now. But I don't know.
I think Hi-Fi Rush didn't quite make it, but I liked Hi-Fi Rush a lot.
It would be in consideration and thinking about the games that didn't make my top 100. I probably would not get in there. No.
The Yakuza Wolf 5 says, "Hey, Super Mikey Bros and PlayStation Jeff Stars. How do you all feel about the idea of benchmark games? For example, many people compare every 3D platformer to Super Mario 64. They see that game as a landmark in its genre. Do you think that it is a fair metric to judge, rate a game, or should these games be judged on their own merit?" I mean, it's a little bit of both. I do feel like sometimes, like when people will try to explain to me why they think a game's not good, and they'll be like, "Well, because the controls are bad." And often I kind of infer what they mean is, well, it doesn't control like Mario. It's like, well, not everything needs to move exactly like that or have those physics. But of course, it's good to have benchmarks so we have at least a base area of understanding.
Yeah, I think what you're kind of getting at, and I think even what Mike was saying there a little bit, it's like there's games that feel like more true to like what people want, and those benchmark games are like, nope, that nailed it. That is what I want these games to feel like. It's what I wanted games to feel like before I ever played this game, and someone got it right. And then everything else that moves further away from that feels a little bit less correct to me, which I think is fair, because I mean, I always point like Super Mario Brothers and Pitfall, right? Both kind of similar ideas, but Pitfall did not get the physics right, didn't get all this stuff right, and was less fun for many people because of it. So, yeah, I think those, like when people look at benchmarks, they're looking at something a little bit deeper a lot of times.
One Up versus CPU says, "Here are some games I'm hoping to get announced around TGS. How likely do you think these are? Final Fight Remake, one of the games on the NVIDIA leak that we still haven't seen. Always thought they'd use assets from Street Fighter 5 or 6 as a base and save some money. Now they have Metro City modeled in 3D and a bunch of the characters." Was Street Fighter 6 on the leak? Is there any chance that the Final Fight Remake was a cute way of them labeling Street Fighter 6 on there? Because there is so much Metro City stuff in Street Fighter 6.
That's interesting. I don't know. I think I really don't know what was on the NVIDIA leak anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we get a new Final Fight. That would explain maybe why we have no actual Final Fight characters in Street Fighter 6, despite all the Metro City and
Street Fighter 6 was references.
It was? Okay, well, never mind then. God, I hope then. Good. I love Final Fight. I'd be super excited. I mean, I hope they don't do too much with it, if that makes sense. I just get the people who made Streets of Rage 4 actually to make a Final Fight now. That'd be great. But we'll see. Maybe we'll get Streetwise too. Remember Final Fight Streetwise, the gritty Final Fight for PlayStation 2?
No, I don't, but I would like to. I would like to know about it.
You wouldn't. Castlevania. Rumored for a long time, but nothing. Yeah, I have no idea when we hear anything about Castlevania. You would think we would have by now, but
I think it was soon. Still, probably pretty soon. Tokyo Game Show. That's me just hoping. Probably not.
That's why he's hoping for Tokyo Game Show 2. New Monster Hunter Rise was announced a few days before TGS 2020. It's been 2.5 years since it came out. The final update for Sunbreak was in June. I think it's about that time again. Maybe could be at Game Awards. Also, it should be about time to hear about a new Monster Hunter.
I think so. I mean, obviously one's coming, so that means we'll probably hear about it soon. Tokyo Game Show sounds about it as a good time as anything else.
It says, "What about those Alan Wake 2 and Mortal Kombat 1 video games, huh? Both are shaping up to be incredible." Yeah, I mean, Mortal Kombat 1 continues to look good. I think Alan Wake 2 looks really good. I think that was a great trailer, kind of short and to the point. but just kind of really conveyed a lot and made that game look very exciting and interesting. I'm very excited for Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, it looks more Remedy than ever before, and I'm okay with that.
Vision 49 says, what do you think motivated the jump from premium DLC to full-fledged title entry for Call of Duty this year? I assume all the multiplayer stuff was done and earmarked for Modern Warfare 2 anyway, but a new campaign releasing seems wild if it's true that there were no plans for it even a year ago. Do they think people wouldn't come back if they skipped a year? I think it's just, if you don't release a Call of Duty this year, you don't get to make Call of Duty money this year.
Yeah, and I get what you mean by, like, it's like, where did this campaign come from? That seems like the kind of thing you can't just, if you weren't planning on doing it, how do you just manifest that out of nowhere? That's probably a number of factors where it's like, a lot of that was likely cut content from Modern Warfare 2, right? Like, it's almost certainly how that worked. And because I think there were rumors of Modern Warfare 2 having more open levels, and now it's like, no, not that. That's showing up in this. So it's probably a lot of cut content, fledged out, and then maybe stuff that they were working on for the next game brought forward, and they just combined that all into one.
I know this isn't just a Call of Duty thing, but I was dying in that gameplay demo at opening night live.
10 minutes. I couldn't see shit.
Yeah, it was all incredibly dark, and but like in the beginning, like, I love, like, just the weird things we accept in video games. Like, if you shoot somebody with a silenced pistol, they also agree to die silently, even if you have to shoot them with it twice.
Damn it!
Like,
the social contract dictates that I stay quiet.
Right. Like, they shoot the guy, and he goes oof, and he like lays down, and is like still moving, and then they go and finish him off, and he just goes oof again. Like, I'd be like, I've been shot.
That sucks. It hurts way more than they said it would.
I don't want to die, right? Someone else pointed out too, like, also
Tellerico Studios.
Sorry, because you said oof too many times, and now I had to hit it. I'm sorry.
Oh my god,
incredible. Or like when you like the idea that pushing somebody off a cliff or pulling them down a cliff would be a stealthy way to kill people. That's another video game favorite. Okay. Incredible. Drewman says, God damn it, Jeff, and hello, Mikey. I just wanted to take a moment to yell at Jeff for making me get into Pikmin.
Yeah.
It triggers my anxiety like no other game, but damn it, I can't stop playing it and collecting everything. Actually, it's fantastic and unique experience. Maybe my game of the year. Thank you, doggos. Woof, woof. Hey, Dan and I both 100% that game. You know what the difference between us is, though?
What was your completion time was significantly under his?
About 10 hours.
My completion time, and I haven't 100%ed it, is about 10 hours more than yours. But Addy has just played so much of my save that I'm like, all the information's useless.
Well, Dan doesn't have that excuse.
Yep.
Seraphis Kane says, if you could snap into an existence an HD 2D remake of any NES or SNES game that hasn't been remade, released, or ported anyway, what would it
Super
be?
Mario RPG, I'm good over here. I'm good. I'm getting what I want.
Star Tropics. There you go.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Mind Goblin says, am I a bad boy if I enjoy the GBA version of Mario Brothers 2 more than the NES version?
Because you like the sound effects or something?
Yeah.
I think you're a bad person. Because like the sound effects are annoying to anyone who's around you. And I bet that's what you like. I bet you like that you're being kind of obnoxious. And I appreciate that. Like, I respect you, but yes, that makes you bad.
JD Camp says, hey, dogs, does Mike know he is going to have to eat fruit for extra life? No, I'm not. You guys don't really, Jeff, explain to them.
Yeah, there's no way in hell he's going to eat fruit. Like, it's just, what does he mean by for extra life? Because, like, we're going to make like a thing where it's like, oh, if we get to a certain goal, Mike has to eat fruit. Like, no, he will just leave. He literally will leave, guys. He'll walk away.
What I did last time.
Yeah.
He will let kids die before he eats a goddamn fruit.
No, because that's not how that works. Like, I'll give the kids money still. It's not only if this thing. That's not how that works. No, I'm not going to eat fruit because it's extra life or because, like, Dan made a funny bet. Like, no, like, I'm not going to do it.
He just asked me to bite a lemon, and I did. That's my life.
DMC Depressed Me Crying says, hello, Mike, Tokoto, Minotti, and Jeff. Pitch for Alarico Grubb. If you were in charge of designing your co-host moveset as they are being added to Super Smash Bros., what would you choose their Ultra Smash to be? Okay, I'm glad it's just Ultra Smash. I was about to say, I'm not going to do a whole moveset for Jeff. Jeff Grubb's Ultra Smash. I still could see him like falling and just like hurting himself a little bit, but mostly hurting other people around him. Today you tried to like you got up and started moving around a lot, and you broke your entire audio setup during the bombcast.
And like yes, it broke everything. Like the connection.
No, Jeff's final smash is that he tries to start a podcast and ends up killing you.
Yes, there it is. Perfect. Mike's is he opens a door. And he like stands back and like he has got like a hazmat suit, and out falls like several million pounds of apples that he's like never like that he's never seen. And he just like stands back and it crushes you.
There you go. Jodicus says, "Hey dogs, no question, just sharing a piece of pure gold from yesterday. Jeff, check your Discord DMs for the audio version." Okay, I think I've heard about this. This is another Snowbike Mike quote. Snowbike Mike playing through Kingdom Hearts has been incredible because he's not coming at it with like disdain or anything like you guys.
Hang on, go ahead. Let me see. Everyone ever should be able to hear that. All right, here we go. Let me start. Here we go.
It's crazy because I don't think of these guys as Disney that much. You know what I mean? When you're like Mike Disney, I don't think of Mickey, Donald, and Goofy for some reason. I don't know who I think about. Good morning. It's crazy because I don't think of these.
What does he mean?
What the hell?
I don't know who I think about.
Hearing Donald Duck doing the most Donald Duck sound ever.
For real.
For real.
Sorry. Said to do that too.
There's nothing that's associated with this anymore. He's not being dead about where he's saying like nobody associates them with Disney. He's saying, I know it's weird, but I don't associate.
Did you see what Gene said about him?
No.
He was replying to that clip I posted on Twitter, and he's like, Andy said something like, he's like the most sheltered guy from Tahoe, and Gene's like, no, this is like if he just escaped North Korea. Like, this is how he is. And I'm like, yeah, that's a very good descriptor. Like, he's just had a completely different culture than anyone else alive. It's incredible.
I just love that he was genuinely surprised, like not in a bad, like excited almost to learn to see Donald Duck in this video game.
Yeah, for real.
It's Donald Duck for real. Oh, I gotta do it one more time.
It's Donald Duck for real.
It's perfect.
I watched that clip like 200 times.
It's perfect. It's so good.
Kaiser Phoenix says, "Hey dogs, what gaming IP would you like to see get a spin-off that deviates from its usual formula? An example that's been set to death. I'd love to play an F-Zero game that's essentially focused on Captain Falcon being a bounty hunter with Yakuza style gameplay." Yeah, Jeff and I talked before about this idea of a Wario Waluigi beat 'em up that I just would actually totally pay $70 for easily.
And both of those ideas, the F-Zero one with Captain Falcon being a bounty hunter, I would adore that. There's so much cool stuff in Mute City. I would like to explore Mute City. So yeah, that's a good idea too.
G-Man Sir says, "Hey, Mike, Bald, Miss Naughty, and Jeff Hair Grubb, who would have a bigger diaper size?"
I got a huge ass, so
Chef.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Jeff.
I think me.
Chef.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I got that donk, that badonkadonk.
Yeah. We'll do a goal someday. If we get a big enough goal, Jeff and I will each measure our asses for you guys. We'll see who's a bigger ass.
Let's fucking go.
Yep.
Gold Tour.
1,000 patrons.
1,000 patrons. Gold Tour says, "Hey boys, other than Pikmin 4, what's your everyone should really play this game that you might have slept on for 2023?" Maybe not everyone, because of the kind of game it is, but I think more people should play 30XX than probably are. So if you like Mega Man, if you like Mega Man X, you should probably play 30XX.
It's right now. It's probably the game I'm going to talk about tonight. Curse Crackers, For Whom the Bell Toils.
I knew that was going to be it. I just asked Kitty Christopher a code for that.
Yes, they DM'd me, and I was like, I'll get to it. And then she DM'd me again tonight, and I was like, okay, yes.
I knew you'd be interested because the whole thing is that it looks like a Game Boy Color game,
and it has the Mario 64 moveset for the character.
Oh, shit. Really?
Yeah, you're gonna play this game as soon as you feel what it feels like. You're gonna be like, oh my god, just why doesn't every game do this? So
I'm so excited.
Talk about more in a bit.
Very soon a bit, because we're gonna take we're done with those questions actually. So we'll take a break. We'll come back, talk about what we've been playing, answer these last few super chats, and we'll wrap up.
Good shit.
Let's get back.
We are on break.
Yeah, we're not for much longer. Let's go.
We're going back from break.
And Jeff, we are back. Okay, you teased us. Are you able to talk about this Curse Crackers game a bit more?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think it's just out, right? I'm pretty sure. Let me double check.
I don't think it's quite out yet, to be honest. But,
okay, I don't remember getting any embargo. They just like sent me the thing and said, "Hey, have fun with this. You should play it." So I'm gonna talk about it, and if I get in trouble, I get in trouble. I feel
like you talking about this game would only be good for it, personally. So
agreed. Curse Crackers, for whom the bell toils, and it's Bell, Belle. That's the name of the main character, and toils, not tolls. It's a 2D side scroller game. It feels very like the structure feels very NES. You're going through like Tiny Toon adventures. If people like those old Capcom sort of early platformers, is kind of what the levels feel like, and that's where you can tell they're saving money by making the game look Game Boy colorish, and the level design isn't some elaborate thing. But then you actually start moving around, and it feels really fantastic. You're jumping on enemies' heads, and as you jump on their heads, you do the spring action off of them that feels really good. You have a normal jump, but if you hold down, you have a high jump, and she does this cool spin as you do it. You have a long jump where you can initiate a slide, and then from the slide, by like just running and pressing down from that slide motion, if you hit the jump, you do this awesome spring long jump forward that just feels incredible. All that stuff, it's like, oh yeah, this is like basically the N64 moveset, but it's well adapted to this 2D game, to the point where instantly I'm having a great time with it. So I haven't played a ton, and I'm just like, okay, how are these levels going to hold up? Are they going to get more complicated? Is there going to be more to it? But even if it is kind of just these Tiny Toon Adventures sort of levels, which I love those games. Those are like good platformers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm totally okay with that. And then if it is this awesome sort of all these awesome verbs that the character can pull off the rest of the game, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely worth people's attention. I wonder what a game like this does in terms of gaining attention in 2023 in such a busy year on a Switch that has thousands and thousands of games. But I do kind of hope people give it some attention. If for nothing else, it's like, this is a game that feels like it's a springboard to something more. You do a game like this, and then your next game can be look a little bit more expensive and take a little bit more time. But I hope this one's successful right out of the gate, because it's a lot of fun. And I think
it might help it a little bit. I don't know if you have time for it.
Yeah, what's up?
Maybe a Giant Bomb Quick Look.
I think we should do a Giant Bomb Quick Look for it. I really do. So I'm going to play a little bit more of it. Let's maybe try to do it tomorrow or the day after. That'd be cool.
Yeah, sounds good. Anything else? Sorry.
I mean, and I want to play more of it, so and I'll probably talk about it again next week, but like just kind of starting it up today and messing around with it. I do think that anyone who does pick it up is going to instantly see like, oh, this is more than what I was expecting, because it doesn't in any way feel like an old game. It feels like state of the art of like 2D action with a great retro style look, and that's a great combination for me. I think it's just going to be difficult to get over that hump of that initial impression for people who might be like, yeah, like sometimes I like these kinds of things, but I have so much other stuff going on right now. I think that if they give it a chance, they're really going to be into it. I'm gonna see how much it costs real quick while you're.
Yeah, I'm gonna download tonight. See what's up. I played a couple things, but I did finally start Octopath Traveler 2, a game I was kind of hoping to skip this year, and then everybody just kept saying,
yeah, everyone really likes it.
Specifically, I should try it even if I didn't like the first one. So I will say, I played 3 hours so far, which is what you're allowed to play in the demo, and then you have to buy the full game. So I did. I bought the full game, but I haven't really played much more yet. But so far, I am definitely liking it. I'm liking it for a lot of reasons. What I did like in the first Octopath Traveler, like, it's gorgeous. I think the combat system is actually a lot of fun. The music's really good, all that stuff. So I'm not deep enough yet to really know where I land on it. I do still have this inherent problem with the design that I had in the first game, in that oftentimes the most tedious part of a JRPG is the beginning, because there's so much setup, right? And it's going to, of course, be a bit of a slow burn. You're really being eased into the world, the characters,
sorry, my bad.
The
that was
systems.
Probably very loud. Sorry, everyone.
It's okay, Jeff. Just lets me know that you're still there.
Yep.
So, but then it's nothing in Live Alive where it's these 8 characters, but you play their campaigns from start, middle, end. Here you have 8 starts in a row, so it just kind of becomes. I've done 3 already. it is kind of like, okay, I beat one first act. Now I got to go play 7 more first acts. That is always a little tedious.
Sure.
Maybe when I get through that, it'll be fine, and I'll start, being really in love with it. But still, like, the things that are good are good. Again, the combat system, the way you kind of stock up turns, or you get more turns.
I always love that idea.
Sections.
I'll say if that is something that is appealing to me, is this the game to play, or should I just go play Bravely Default or something?
At this point, I don't think you should go play Bravely Default 1. I mean, you should play this if you really want to play one of those.
Okay.
At this point.
Okay.
Yep. That's fair. But yeah, I also been playing Super Metroid for the Game Club. I played through it again for for stream. Just took nearly 2 sittings. I think it was like a 5-6 hour playtime. I think recently, Jeff, we said that was the best game of all time, and I do not think we were wrong.
Yeah.
So really like Super Metroid. In fact, off stream, I am just playing it again because I want to.
You want to see her naked?
Well, I want to beat it in under 3 hours finally for the first time, and after doing it and like having it all really fresh in my head, and then I also like watched the newest any% world record, and that was fun. I was like, okay, I definitely think I could finally do this, or at least want to give it a shot. So yeah, I'm just also playing Super Metroid immediately again, and still just having a fantastic time with it.
Yeah, it turns out that game's actually good. Wall jumping is empirically good. Just unqualified cool thing in that game, and people need to get over it.
Well, what I want to try to get over to them is that it's a hidden technique, which I think is lost maybe. You don't need to do it to beat the game.
I don't think I did it the first time I beat the game.
I think, me neither. I think it's for sequence breaking and getting some of the extra items is what it's actually for. And doing it feels so good because it is,
It's how I still do wall jumping to this day, even though almost no game tries to replicate that because
we'll see.
They know that gamers today are weak.
I want to, because this was all Sean's idea to do this, the Game Club thing.
Yeah.
It's fine by me because I get to play Super Metroid. I love it. I don't know what he's hoping for in the discussion. It might just be a shit show because, like, I'm like worried it's just gonna be like some people like I think this game's old and controls bad, and then like me and some other people be like, nuh-uh. like if you think a game controls bad, I can't talk you out of that. I can't argue that with you.
Right.
So. I don't know. I'm curious to see how the discussion goes. Because Sean wants to talk about it, and I always cut him off when he tries. Because because I'm 5 moves ahead of you, Sean. I know where that discussion goes, and it's nowhere good. It's nowhere good, but okay, it's gonna happen now. We're gonna get there. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I still really
real quick.
like
I just want to show some gameplay from Curse Cracker so people could see it because I've played it and I've started playing it this way.
Are you sure you're allowed to share gameplay?
Yeah, because this is from the Steam page. This is the live Steam page. So I started playing it this way. I'm like, oh my god, this feels amazing. But it turns out I think this is like the intended way to play with like this run and bounce gameplay that they talk about. Like the kinetic energy with which she like jumps through the levels here and like jumps through enemies and jumps past them is so cool and it feels great. And this
I think so much fun.
Again, I think once people like get the hang of that stuff, which again it happened very quickly for me, that movement is so fast.
Are you using that thing like a cappy?
Yeah, it's I don't know if you could take over it, but you do like throw it and then it like if you like don't hit something, it like goes off screen for like 30 seconds and eventually comes back to you.
Cool.
I actually
if you're listening
bounce on it.
If you're listening on audio, just look up the Steam video for Curse Crackers.
And it's just got like she's like petting her big dragon there.
I think Turbo suddenly gets me. I thought he said he was enjoying the game.
I think
he's like, Sean's right. I think he just likes pardon me. Well, he also said it was literally the oldest video game he's ever played. So yes, Nick, I bet that to you some stuff felt a little archaic. I believe. I
suppose so.
Sure.
Yes.
If it is literally the oldest video game you've ever beaten, sure. That's fine. All right. Jeff, want to catch up on the rest of the super chats, and then
let's see here.
Just don't. I can't see. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be such a shit show, Jeff. Because I want to be like, of course, people have their opinions, and yet just reading somebody say the word very flawed, very flawed about Super Metroid. And it's just like philosophically, Jeff, this used to be the one game we all agreed on. This used to be it
was our haven. We could all go back to Super Metroid.
Yeah, it was the Citizen Kane. It was like, everyone thinks Super Metroid's great, right? But no, Now I have to defend
no more.
Now I have to defend Super Metroid. That's the world I live in now, and I don't like that world.
Right, we did it to ourselves by not keeping these children out, letting them. We should have gatekeeped harder.
Right, we should have been grumpier older men, and then our audience would have just been other grumpy old men. But
exactly,
no, we had to be like excited about video games. And
lesson learned. Lesson learned. You know,
maybe we aren't blinded by nostalgia. Nick says, "I just played it again."
All right, this is from John Cody. As someone who has seen firsthand colleagues get fired from prominent roles, Steve Whitmire's Kermit, I can also guarantee Charles didn't voluntarily step down. Okay. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure maybe he wasn't super excited about it. Steve Whitmire was also being a bit of a shit, I think, too. I mean, I don't know exactly what happened there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
But I mean, Charles is 67, and that's like a good age to retire. So I don't know.
I don't know, but there's no point speculating, really.
Exactly. From L. Grug, Jeff question, you still playing Punch-Out? Mike question, you still ducking Love Boat?
I am. I feel bad. That I actually feel bad about. I got to watch Love Boat after I made such a big fuss about it. I'll get to that.
I tried to play Punch-Out on this CRT the other day, and I forgot how to beat Glass Joe. I can beat Glass Joe, but forgot the optimal speedrun technique. So I clearly need to go in there and freshen up. So I'm going to do that soon. But it's just busy time.
I get an audio clip of just Jeff saying, "I forgot how to beat Glass Joe." I'd enjoy that.
From Shigeru Miyamoto. Oh wow, we finally got rid of Charles. Now it's cool Chris Pratt time. His Waluigi is unlike anything you've ever heard before. Oh man, I bet it is. Do you think Chris Pratt knows what Waluigi is?
Man, there's a very good chance he doesn't.
I don't think he does. I really do.
There's a very good chance he does not. I feel like he could be one of those people who's like, I stopped playing Mario once I started having sex. Like, he knows who Mario is because he was a child, but I don't think he knows about Waluigi.
The Uncharted Wolf is here to rescue you, Mike. I'm 21. Super Metroid is a masterpiece. Jesus Christ.
Well, thank you.
21.
Almost
literally half my age. Almost exactly half my age.
Yeah, didn't you find out that you're almost as old as Lex's father or something?
Yes.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yep, that's not funny.
I'm laughing.
I don't think that's funny at all.
Did you hear at some point during opening night live, somebody was talking about Stormgate, that new RTS? Like, we're inspired by classic RTSs like StarCraft 2. And I just started digging my grave.
What I did, I watched. And they're like, we're inspired by classic things like Warcraft, and I turned it off at that point. And so it's just like, okay, I get it. I'm like, if I was going to play one of those, I'd probably just go back to Warcraft. And so I missed them saying StarCraft 2. That would have been deeply upsetting.
Yeah. They said Warcraft 3. I was like, yeah, Warcraft 3 is pretty old now,
right.
Sure. And
yes, Warcraft 3, right.
It's like, there's StarCraft 2. I was like, oh shit, StarCraft 2 is like 12, 13 years old now.
Yes,
great.
It's a very old game now. Yep, absolutely.
Incredible. Is that it?
Yep, that does it for the super chats I have over here.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it then. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate you all hanging out with us today. We'll be back on Thursday with a Game Us Decides. I assume we'll do 2000 Game of the Year. I have to let Jeff apparently have more input.
You do not. I was not hot and heavy on anything from 98 and 99. So people are just mistaking that as like, oh, Mike's getting all this in. I'm like, no, the most important games to me for those years were like 1 and 2, and I got them on there at 1 and 2, so I didn't need to argue beyond that.
I'm gonna make sure you open with talking about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, and
yes,
then
no problem.
I'll make it seem like that was your idea.
It is my idea because that is gonna probably be it's gonna be up there.
That's the problem. It's like, I presented Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 as mine, as if like somehow that didn't make it yours. I don't know.
I love Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1. Well, we might also do like what we think is going to be Game of the Year at the end of this year. We'll see how much time we have. We'll maybe then make that. If we get through 2000 pretty quickly, maybe we'll do that. If not, we'll save it. All right, bye everybody.
Bye.
Donald for real. It's Donald Duck for real.
Oh, let's freaking go.
It's kind of funny conversation. That's just a real conversation those two might have.
Oh, you guys aren't hearing the music anymore. Oh well.
It's Donald Duck for real.
I gotta get.
It's Donald Duck for real.
I gotta get Blessing and Mike together and actually just have them say those lines.
Yes. There he is. There's DMX.
It's Donald Duck for real.
Oh, it's DMX. It's DMX for real.